Background ni macam horror movie lah.
Yeah.
Are you saying that Jalan Ampang is like a horror movie, Kisina? Because
Aduh.
Kisina did the background for the slides, guys. But before we start, very quickly, I wanted to ask, because we've never asked this in the previous Battle Royale, right? We have done Monkera, we've done Dutamas, we've done KLCC, we've done TRX, we've done Bukit Bintang, right? We've done PJ, so you know, but we've never really asked the audience, right? Did you buy anything at Jalan Ampang? So why are you here tonight? You are here because you kepochi, want to see, and just want to learn, or you have actually bought something, right? So I mean, if you have bought something, I don't have much of a good news, I guess, for tonight, right? You know, so yeah, you know, we don't have much of a good news. Far Capital historically do not like Jalan Ampang. So let's just put it out there, right? And we don't like Jalan Ampang, largely because we are under the view that Jalan Ampang property cannot make money. Very hard to make money, right? So that was the general overview, right? So if you have bought something in Jalan Ampang, you know, I guess tonight you are gonna get some level of clarity lah. Nonetheless, there's a reason why we don't like Jalan Ampang. I guess towards the end of the presentation, our view hardly would change. And apa tu? So that's that lah. So siapa kat sini ada beli Jalan Ampang? Astrum Ampang. Astrum Ampang tak wujud bro. Dia ada. Is it Astrum Ampang? No, right? Not really, right?
If you talk about like very niche, like specific location, it actually for Jelatek area lah.
Yeah, Astrum is in Jelatek, guys. Right? So yeah, it's not Ampang lah. So anyway, LB as usual will be doing the presentation, but I think the panelists have to help her a little bit today because, you know, similar to mine 2 weeks ago, whereby I had a flu and cough and I did the presentation, and immediately after the last Battle Royale, I lost my voice for a week. So if we don't help out LB, LB will lose her voice for at least 1 to 2 weeks, right? So yeah. So I think we have to help out a little bit, guys. So yeah, let's go quickly for the presentation. I see people already asking about property, Astrum, Skyline.
Yeah, everyone interested.
Novo. Don't worry. Ini semua kita akan ada Battle Royale tonight, right? So we're gonna be discussing this, right?
I thought you want to say kita semua akan bakar.
Right? So no matter what, we still have to pick one property, right? In Jalan Ampang and so-called Jelatek, right? So I think we're gonna go to that. So very quickly, I'll do the intro before I hand over the floor to LB, right? So today, you know, we'll be talking about largely Jalan Ampang, and then to a certain extent we'll do Jelatek as well as a property comparison. So again, why do we do this? You know, we want to provide independent guide to anyone looking to buy a property in Jalan Ampang, because I think in Jalan Ampang today, in a way, the market is actually quite hot, right? But hot doesn't mean much, right? Hot just means there's a lot of interest, there's a lot of agents selling. It does not mean that you'll make money, right? So I'm hoping that our guide tonight, right, this particular presentation, will give you the full information that you need, right, before you decide what to buy here. Okay. It's also meant to provide shortcut for you. It's also meant to provide how to use data to avoid expensive mistakes, because like I said, there's a reason why we don't like Jalan Ampang at Far Capital, and the reason why we don't like Jalan Ampang is because almost everyone who has bought in Jalan Ampang in the last 10 years did not make money. All right. So that's just a fact, right? And while we don't like Jalan Ampang, we have done a deal here, right? We have done a deal 2 years ago, and we bought, as usual, the cheapest thing we can, and that will be disclosed towards the end of the presentation, right? So again, what we are going to present tonight, normally it's not going to be liked by the property agents and the property developers who has inventory in this area to sell, right? But like I said, our job is not to please the developer or the agents. Our job is to basically present the truth so that after this 1 2 hour presentation, you have full POV on what to do, right? So this is why we are doing this, right? The Battle Royale of Jalan Ampang, Jelatek. Now, what can you expect to learn today? Number 1, how to use 7 criteria, and again, why we don't like Jalan Ampang. So you're going to learn why, right? So everything that we do is data driven. So if you like certain area, certain property, because the data supports, right, that decision to like that property, we can make money, right? We don't like Jalan Ampang because we generally believe that as of today, right, at least in the last 10 years, there are not many properties you can buy here that is fairly priced that you can actually make money, right? So number 2, we were, as usual, we're going to define the border, what is considered part of Jalan Ampang, okay? Which interestingly, we divided into 4 areas, which is Jalan Ampang west side, right? And Jalan Ampang east side, right? So west is referring to where the mall is, right? Where Hilton is, DoubleTree is, right? While the east side is Kampung Brembang, right? And then you got the Yutan side, and you've also got the Ampang Hile. Later, LB will share what is the border, okay? So Jalan Ampang is part of Tier 1, and which is why if you are looking to buy anything in Tier 1, it's good to compare the performance of Jalan Ampang versus the likes of Monkera, versus the like of Bukit Bintang, versus the likes of KLCC, right? So, like I said, important to compare, important to understand what is tiering before you buy anything, okay? So today, you'll also know which part of Jalan Ampang is the best one, which is it the west side, is it the east side, is it the Kampung Brembang side, is it Ampang Hile, is it Taman Yutan, right? New versus old, what do you buy, right? And then we're going to do Battle Royale of Skyline Embassy versus the Ashwood versus Astoria versus the Suite versus Datum, Jelatek, right? And of course, Astrum, Ampang, right? And then, how do you compare Jalan Ampang versus KLCC because it's nearby? And last but not least, as usual, we're going to give you the recommended entry price to enter an investment property in Jalan Ampang. So, as usual, it's going to be full of information, full of facts, full of data. And obviously, the panelists will then share their own respective POV, stories about certain developer, gossip about certain land developer deals, blah, blah, blah. So a lot of it will be disclosed tonight lah. So macam biasa lah guys. If you have watched our Price Battle Royale, right, there's a reason why it's typically 2, 3, 4 hours long. There's a lot of insights that is normally not shared, right, by anyone in the country, right, before we came along and shared the Battle Royale. Okay, so it's going to be very cool. There's a lot of important information that is going to be shared tonight. And if you are looking and considering to buy something in Jalan Ampang, you got to watch this. If you already bought, a little bit late, but maybe, you know, you can do better buy next time. So this is basically part of Tier 1. Jalan Ampang is part of Tier 1, right? So how we define Tier 1? So Tier 1 basically, guys, is area whereby rental rate of over 5,000 ringgit is common and normal, right? So that's Tier 1 area. So Klang Valley is divided by 3 tiers: Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3, right? So this is the guide of whereby if you are looking to buy Tier 1, what makes Tier 1 a Tier 1 area? Is it because Faizul says so, Fakap says so, Eheng says so? No, right? It's because of these indicators. So if you see rental of above 5,000 per month is common in that area, it's part of Tier 1. Okay. Number 2, from an occupancy mix point of view, normally in Tier 1 area, it's very hard to pinpoint certain race occupying majority of the units in the area. So for example, if you go to Kepong, you can basically say the Chinese area, right? So Kepong is part of Tier 2. You go to Sentul, used to be an Indian area, right? You go to Shah Alam, it's Malay area. So these are all part of Tier 2. So in Tier 1, normally it's all mixed because why? All the wealthy Malaysians, non-Malaysians, you know, expats stay in Tier 1, right? So this is what's cool about Tier 1, right? So from a price point of view, high rise, no, typically it's above 1 million ringgit is very common, for high rise in tier 1 area above 700 ringgit per square foot is also very normal in tier 1, right? Which is what Jalan Ampang is, obviously, right? As far as landed is concerned, right, typically start from 2 million ringgit onwards, even for link house, right? Later, Zairi will share how much is the landed property in Jalan Ampang area, right, which is not cheap. And typically, when you look at the new launch in tier 1, right, above 1,000 ringgit per square foot is actually pretty normal. In fact, I can say with certainty, with exception of the ones in Jelatek, which is Estrum, right? Almost every property in the Jalan Ampang side, from the 4 areas, right? West side, east side, Ampang Hile, Yutan, at least from an original SPA point of view, is all above 1,000 per square foot. Okay, so this is a guide and indicator why Jalan Ampang is basically part of tier 1. The tier 1 in KL or Selangor, right? These are basically part of the first part is the old part of tier 1, which is your Mont Kiara, Hartamas, Taman Sara Heights, KLCC, Bukit Bintang, Care Central, Mid Valley, Jalan Ampang, and Ken Hills. So these are all part of the old OD, right? OG of the tier 1, right? And of course, in the last 10 years, you've seen a couple of new entries, right, in tier 1 area, which is your TRX, your Bangsa South, your Dutamas, and Desa Park City. Okay, so these are all definition of tier 1. So if you can see here, Jalan Ampang, part of tier 1. And again, if you refer to the slide before, you will know what makes tier 1 a tier 1 area. So if you look in all of these areas, it's the same story. Rental above 5,000 is common, landed is above 2 million, apartment above 1 million is very, very normal. So these are all part of tier 1. Okay. So that's from a context point of view. So this is how we define Jalan Ampang. So the border of Jalan Ampang would be your Jalan Tun Razak, MRR2, Akleh, Jalan Datuk Kramat, and Jelatek. And we divide Jalan Ampang into 4 different sub-areas. The first part, which is Jalan Ampang West Side, which is the nearest to KLCC, is where the mall is. It's where Doubletree Hilton is. The first part, which is your top left, is actually Jalan Ampang West Side. On the right, which is the east side, which is the Kampung Beremban. Kampung Beremban is basically the least favorable area of cluster called Jalan Ampang. Then you got the OG, which is at the bottom, which is Taman Yutan and Ampang Hile. So when you look at the landed property composition in Jalan Ampang, majority are going to be at your bottom half, right? Which is Taman Yutan and Ampang Hile. While majority of the high rise is on the upper half of this map, which is your west side and your east side, which is Jalan Ampang west side, and of course the Kampung Beremban side, which is the east side. And then while Jalan Ampang itself actually goes beyond this map, all the way until after MR2, but after that is basically a bunch of very old landed property, right? Whereby it's part of tier 2 already. And again, Jalan Ampang is actually quite unique. Sebab Jalan Ampang, this particular cluster, you've got a KL side of Jalan Ampang, you also have the Selangor side of Jalan Ampang. So there's a lot of property in the east side, which is the Kampung Beremban side, is actually part of Selangor. Right? So there's some property which is actually quite unique. That property, one property which is Astoria, half of it is basically based on Selangor, right? At the map of Selangor, and the other half is in Kuala Lumpur. Very unique. Okay? So this is Jalan Ampang from a border point of view in general, right? So you got your Akleh, right? You got your Jalan Tun Razak, you got the MR to divide Jalan Ampang versus the Jelatek side. And then you got the Taman Yutan and Ampang Hile that basically divides the expensive version of Jalan Ampang versus, the Kampung Pandan side and all of that. Okay? So far, this is how we define, Jalan Ampang. So anything beyond this 4 cluster of area, which is the west side, Jalan Ampang, then east side, which is the Kampung Berembang side, Ampang Hilir and Taman Yutan, in our opinion, is not a Jalan Ampang property anymore. Okay, it's not a Jalan Ampang property anymore. Okay, clear? So beyond MR2, right, beyond the Jelatek side, obviously not Jalan Ampang. Okay, clear guys? On how we define what is Jalan Ampang. With this, go ahead, Zairi.
All right. Thanks,
Yeah.
Faizul. Today I'm going to present to you guys, as usual, the transactions. So most of it will cover the median and the new versus old. You compare the median of the new, compare the median of the old, and should be a difference of these two. So you really need to know these two medians are the new and old, not only the new. So from there, you can make a good decision. So 7 criteria is the one that we are using in this far capital. And yeah, that's really help us in terms of choosing the best property. Yeah, Jalan Ampang, this is the first time we're showing a landed. So I think it's really important because we wanted to know whether the land in this area is really expensive or not. Is it that expensive that people are buying high rise? They don't have any choice but to buy high rise because the landed is really expensive. But yeah, this is the first time we're showing this. I think Faizul, maybe we can continue with landed after this and high rise both of it. So it's a good indicator. Okay, talking about Jalan Ampang, I remember when I was 10, 12 years ago, I was approached by an agent. I'm still young that time, early 20s. Sekarang muda, that time is also lagi muda. I'm not really sure why he's pushing me. This property is MCT. It's located in Jalan Ampang, betul-betul, right? Next to Jalan Ampang, right? And it was 900 ringgit per square foot and close to 1 million. So I'm not really sure. I'm puzzled why he's showing me this property and do some calculations and all, right? It's really expensive. So I'm puzzled why it's really expensive. Jalan Ampang or Ampang selling 1 million. And the argument is that it's one straight road from that MCT to KLCC. So it's sharing the same Jalan Ampang by name. So KLCC is fronting Jalan Ampang, MCT and these properties all is also fronting Jalan Ampang. So it's a long road, and it's not too far. It's about 4 km distance. So that's the reason why they're selling it at this kind of price. Today, I bersyukur I didn't really buy it. I'm going to show you the numbers, but it's really expensive. That time, after the bull run, right, it's selling all 900 per square foot, some 1,000 per square foot onwards. Even today, they are selling at this kind of price also for undercon. So we're looking at the landed. It really tells us why they are selling high-rise at a certain price, 1,000 plus ringgit per square foot as well, because the landed is also expensive. This area, the landed, most of it is old landed. They don't have much of land, so there are small parcels of land that they converted into some housing complex of limited semi-Ds and bungalows, gated and guarded, but not much. So most of it is big bungalows and semi-Ds. Certain parts of the Jalan Ampang, which is Ampang Hilir, there's terraces houses, which is quite big in sizes, and terrace houses. But other parts of Jalan Ampang, there's no terrace houses as per Ampang Hilir part. And there's no transactions of Kampung Berembang landed. So we only have these 3 areas. I think Faizul shows 4 sites of Jalan Ampang. So Kampung Berembang doesn't have the transactions of landed. And most of the transactions of landed, because of the price is really expensive, the only terrace houses recorded the highest, 11 transactions. And still is around 1.6 million for the terrace houses. Really old, really need refurbishment. Right? And the median per square foot over the land sizes is around 600 ringgit per square foot. And if you land median price per build up area, probably you can get around 1,000 ringgit per square foot. And then the bungalow in Ampang Hilir is slightly actually cheaper than the Yutan. So Yutan is where there's a lot of embassies, right? Closer to the Jalan Tronzak, closer to the KLCC. So you can see bungalow sizes in Ampang Hilir is relatively smaller in size, 5,000 to 13,000 square feet. while the Yutan size bungalow is 15,000 up until 27,000. So it's really, really huge bungalows. Some of these bungalows are converted into embassies punya houses lah, right? So you can see the price also for the bungalow in Jalan Ampang Hilir is about 5 million, while the Yutan bungalow is 13 million plus. All right, that's the median, more than double. And semi-D is more expensive in Yutan compared to Ampang Hilir, even though the distance is probably around 2 km distance away. But yes, semi-Ds and bungalow in Yutan part is more expensive than Ampang Hilir. Similar things, similar to Ampang west side, the bungalow is also quite similar to the price of the semi-D. So these two sides, which is the west side of Ampang, Jalan Ampang, is recorded really a high price for the landed. And not to forget, the semi-D is the reason why is around 2,000, close to 3,000 ringgit per square foot. Actually, for medium per square foot by build up is around 3,000 ringgit per square foot. So because of is gated and guarded, so actually there's a reason, there's a difference, big difference of gated and guarded in this area versus the non-gated and guarded in terms of the rental and also the price wise. So you can see probably double or more than double in terms of price per square foot for the one gated and guarded compared to the non-gated and guarded. So this kind of pricing, millions and millions, right, for landed in Ampang, probably the reason why people are choosing to buy high rise in these areas. Okay, now next we go into the transactions of the high rise. Okay, so this is the west side of Jalan Ampang, which is Ampang west side, and also Taman Yutan. So Ampang west side is the one bordering Jalan Tun Razak, where there's Intermark, the Level 3 hotel also. So this is, you can see there's about not much new developments transacted in these two areas. Pavilion Embassy is the newest one, and that's the only one that's actually new property that's transacted. However, it's recorded about 1,400 ringgit per square foot, and that's really high. But there's 8 transactions, so it's really healthy. People are actually willing to accept this kind of pricing. Probably is because of pavilion, and probably because of there's demand in terms of new high luxury spec for high rise in this area. So other than that, you can see next is 2016. Most of the transactions in Ampang West side is the ones that's actually closer to Jalan Tun Razak, or the ones that closer to the Intermark lah. You can see 328, My Habitat, and also Vista Damai. So these are most of the transactions in this Ampang West side area, actually closer to Jalan Tun Razak side. So even that 2016 and 2009 properties also recorded above 750 ringgit per square foot. So it's around 1 million, above 750 ringgit per square foot. So the newer ones is 1 million plus and 1,000 ringgit, 1,400 ringgit per square foot. So that's the price of Ampang West side. You can see the median is also close to 1 million and 800 ringgit, 840 ringgit per square foot. Taman Yutan, which is there's bit I think from what I see, the area is a bit more organized macam Mont Kiara kan. Nampak macam feel of Mont Kiara. You can go to Jalan Match, Lorong Jalan Ampang. As you can see, it's really nice. There's lot of low to mid-rise condos, and not much of high-rise. But these are a few high-rise that's in the area. Most of it, as you can see, is big sizes punya condos lah. That's why in terms of medium price in absolute, this is really higher compared to Ampang West side. So Ampang West side is slightly smaller in size, but Taman Yutan, most of them probably are buying for own stay or what, but they are really big in sizes. So 2013 properties is transacted 4 million plus pun ada, right? Even back to 2010, 2009, still above 2 million, 3 million ringgit. Because of the size, you can see it's about 3,000-4,000 square feet. The most, if you take out the M Suites and also Holiday Place, which is smaller in size. You can see around 800 to 1,000 ringgit per 1,000 square feet. Others are roughly around 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 square feet, right? And in average of the size. If you take out M Suites and Holiday Place, you see there's not really much of demand in terms of properties of these large sizes. They are, like each of the properties is 1 or 2 transactions only. So M Suites is the one closer to front of Jalan Ampang, small size, 15 transactions. So 500,000, 600 plus per square foot. And also interesting to see that even though the size is big and is about 10 years old property, like Mansion, Nobleton, Crest, it's still above 1,000 ringgit per square foot. So that's really something to show lah. So really high in price. Even the Sastra Yutan close to 1,000 ringgit per square foot. So more than 10 years old, 15 years old property, still above 650 ringgit per square foot. So yeah, big size, also high in terms of the price per square foot. Okay, next we go into Ampang East side. So ada west, ada east, macam Berlin kan. So Berlin east, Berlin west. So it's really big difference. So Kampung Berembang and Ampang Hileh, this is the east side of Jalan Ampang lah. If you can see the numbers, it looks like slightly smaller compared to the Ampang west side. So Kampung Berembang is an area that's was explored, I think, about 10-15 years ago from MCT. I think one of the pioneers developments in the area. So that RT, the elements. So yeah, as you can see, there is not much transactions of 1,000 ringgit per square foot. Even though new suites, small size, residence, small size, RT plus, small size, but the per square foot is still lower than 800 ringgit per square foot in average. So the median there is about 600 ringgit per square foot. Price, median and absolute also is relatively lower lah. So median price is 607,000. However, the transaction is the most lah. If you can compare to the west side tadi, most of these two areas, the transaction is less, around 40 transactions. But here Kampung Berembang is 63. So there are people buying Jalan Ampang, but wanted to buy the one that's quite cheaper in price per square foot and also absolute. They are looking at Kampung Berembang lah. So most of these developments, even though it's around lesser than 1,000 square feet in size, but it's 3 bedrooms. So so you can get something that's around 500-600,000 for 3 bedrooms in this area lah, which is only in Kampung Berembang. West side though, you don't really get it. Most of it, if the luxury ones is going for 4 bedrooms, 5 bedrooms, and not much of the 2 or 3 bedrooms. But this side, for example, new suites, 300,000 is a 2-bedder. So 300,000 2-bedder. However, like RT also 500,000+ is around 2+1 or 3-bedder. So yeah, that's the price for Kampung Berembang. So looking at the story that I tell you, right? MCT, the agent is offering me around 900 ringgit per square foot. Here you can see it's currently transacted today. For the past 2 years is 680 ringgit per square foot. So I can say those buying here probably lose money, right? Abby will present on the launcher's price and also the today's price in comparison. Then you can see whether other than MCT, other owners are actually losing money as well. All right. Ampang Hileh also, this is next to Yutan, right? From the map. Also, some of it is big sizes. There are also a lot of old landed. I've shown you that there's a lot of transactions of terrace houses. So it's really a quiet place, slightly further from the Jalan Tun Razak, right? So there's also a bit of demand in terms of big sizes in comparison to Kampung Berembang. But overall, there's only 5 transactions. Most of the transactions, I think, is in terms of apartments and low rise, 3-4 floors of apartments. So this type of condos, high-rise condos, there's not much of demand in Ampang Hileh part in comparison to Kampung Berembang and other areas, right? So that's overall about the 4 areas. So I put in a summary next. Okay, so here are some summaries of what I mentioned just now. So you can see those 2 areas macam Jalan Ampang West Side and Jalan Yutan and Taman Yutan, they are higher. It was transacted at higher price compared to Ampang Hilir and Kampung Berembang lah. So the closer you to Jalan Tun Razak intersections or KLCC, the higher in terms of price. Okay, that's one. Number 2 is the demand in landed and big sizes of mid, low, and rise developments is not that high. So I've shown you, if you're taking out in Yutan, you're taking out Embassy View, you're taking out Suites, these small sizes developments. The big sizes actually probably around 10 transactions only, or 10, 15 transactions. And each of the developments only 1 or 2 transactions. So not much of landed and big sizes developments as transacted in this area. And, all right, so and number 3 is most of the transactions, which is 1,000 ringgit per square foot, we've seen in Yutan. There's 2 of it, and 1 in Pavilion Embassy, right, in Ampang West Side. It's transacted above 1,000 ringgit per square foot. You don't see this in Jalan Ampang East Side. So 1 million is common, really common in Yutan and also Ampang West Side. And 10 to 15 years old condo in these 3 areas, except Kampung Berembang, right? So actually transacted above 50 ringgit per square foot. Even in Ampang Hilir side, which is opposite of Kampung Berembang, is also transacted above 800 ringgit per square foot for the 10 to 15 years old condo. So yeah, there's not much transactions, but still the transaction of the 10 to 15 years old condo still above 650 ringgit per square foot. So it's considered quite high in price. Some other areas, if you go further to Selangor part, right, of Ampang, 650 ringgit per square foot can actually get you a really new condo lah. So here, 10, 15 years old condo, still above 650 ringgit per square foot. Right, except Kampung Berembang lah, right? We will discuss this later on, why Kampung Berembang is not that expensive compared to the other areas. Okay, and yeah, very low transactions of new developments. We've seen the only new developments in sub-sale that was transacted is in Pavilion Embassy. All right, there's 8 transactions above 1,400 ringgit per square foot. But other than that, it's all sub 2016. Yeah, so not many transactions of new condos lah. Okay, yeah, but probably it's because of today's also we're gonna go to that also. A lot of undercons is also selling 1,000 ringgit per square foot, and smaller in sizes compared to the other to the current completed properties in this Jalan Ampang areas. All right, so probably that's the reason why there's still not much of sale transactions of new developments, right? Kampung Berembang is the one that's highest in terms of the transactions, but it is lowest in terms of the median price per square foot and also the absolute. And there's a lot of offerings of small sizes in this area, right, compared to the other areas. So that's summary of the transactions. So if you hold into the summary, probably you can make a good decision in terms of buying because it's quite obvious, right? What it looks like in Jalan Ampang, these 4 areas. All right. So with that, thank you, everyone. I pass the floor to LB.
Okay, thank you, Zairi, for the presentations. So I will continue from the part to answer you. Okay, so the transaction basically in the area you have been seeing, Jalan Ampang is just 1 street down from KLCC. So everyone is selling, like Jalan Ampang is very near to KLCC, and when the property buran was run like in about 2013-14, the prices hiked out. Everyone was saying Jalan Ampang is selling very expensive, about 1,300, 1,400, depending on which side of it. Like even maybe in Kampung Berembang, the prices was adjusted last time, and also compared to today, they adjusted slightly lower lah. So some of the buyers actually buy at the peak of the property prices, and some of it buy at the lower prices comparing to last time. So looking at Jalan Ampang today, some interesting discussion was they were saying Jalan Ampang is like very oversupplied. But I not sure why they keep coming out. Because like some of the area, maybe like Taman Newton, Ampang Hilay, they are low rise or like low density condo developments comparing to all, if you compare direct comparison to KLCC, which is all of it is all high rise. There's no low density developments. But looking at this Jalan Ampang, but at this one street down, but why people are saying this Jalan Ampang is oversupply. So looking at rental yield today, let's see what's going to make some difference in this area. So we have actually segregated the area into 4 different sites, right? So the first one is actually nearer to the Ling Intermark area. So basically the new one in this area, we have Mayfair and Oxford residents. Actually, this is Pavilion Embassy. So they are coming with big sizes. They are 4-bedroom, 5-bedroom layout. So it's about 1,008, close to 2,007 per square feet. So on average, they are asking for today is about 1,380. So just now when Zari was presented just now, he was saying that Pavilion Embassy was transacted about 1,430. So actually, Pavilion's Embassy is actually transacted higher than the asking, and for your information, they actually transacted higher than the launch price. So when Pavilion Embassy was launched, there was launched about 1,050 per square feet or 1,003 per square feet. So I would say a branded suites in this area, I would say actually did make some money lah, and also still have some transactions comparing to all the different area they were discussing.
Did you just say that the current transacted is higher than the current asking on ads?
Yes, it is also higher than the current asking on ads on average.
Ini macam ada goreng-goreng je kat sini ni.
The transacted is higher than the
That's why.
asking.
I mean, we're basically talking about a scenario whereby you got people, let's say, what's the asking today?
It's about 1,000, it's close to 1,004 lah, but yeah, its transacted is still a bit like 60 ringgit to 70 ringgit higher.
I mean, what is a scenario whereby you put an advertisement of 1,380 ringgit per square foot, and then the buyer come to you and say, you know what, I don't want to pay 1,380, I will pay 1,450.
Okay. So I
Right? So
understand.
that's basically it, right? So if you got an advertisement of, let's say, below 1,004, but your transaction is above 1,000, around 1,450, it sounds very fishy. But anyway,
let's see if people will buy or not.
So like I said, the job is to, well, inform everyone, right, that this doesn't make sense. You know, I don't know whether the transaction is real or artificial, but let's see.
But
Okay.
I guess it should be quite real in terms, because we did actually check who is the seller and who is the buyer of all the transaction. We will actually exclude all those by developer transaction or landlord bank transaction or by certain big companies lah, to actually get a more accurate prices so that people don't throw their prices when they're actually selling off. So basically, when we see at this Jalan Ampang west side, where they are close to like Intermark or Link area, it's more towards Jalan Tun Razak, KLCC closer lah. So they are more towards mixed development. So some of it they come with big sizes even for this area. So if you're looking at those old condo like 328 Damai, Trillion is actually a mixed development lah. So with offices in the area, they are asking about 1,006, 1,005 per square feet today. But this is why making the rental yield of these developments actually below 4. Because of the asking per square foot actually very high for these KL Trillion or mixed developments. Because other than this one, most of in this Jalan Ampang side, right, they are mostly residential. They don't come with mixed development, they don't come with commercials. That's the difference actually between this street lah, okay? So on average for the old one, if you're looking at Jalan Ampang west side, they are still able to hold actually at a higher price point. Even they come with big sizes, some with like 3,000, 4,000. They are asking per square foot today is also above 1,000 per square foot. This is why people are I would say they are justifying that Jalan Ampang It's also a close comparison to KLCC, comparing to last time. And why today the new launches in this area are asking about 1,001 or 1,000 per square feet, because most of the property, looking at the asking per square feet, they are able to hold. Or even some that Zari presented just now in Jalan Ampang, just contacted Jalan Ampang west side, okay? Some are able to hold at 1,000 and above per square feet, okay? So on average, in the new of Jalan Ampang, the rental per square feet is about close to 6 ringgit for this, I would say, branded suite. Their rental yield is above 5. For O1, their rental per square feet is about 3 ringgit 40 cent. Asking today is also above 1,000. Rental is about 3 ringgit and rental is about 3.9%. So on the next one, we are going to look at the Taman Newton area. So the Taman Newton area, basically, they actually more towards a low rise, low density, or I would say premium kind of condo lah. They come with very big sizes. Generally, they are above 2,000 and above. Some kind of 4,000, 5,000. There's only one exception, I would say, is M Suites. Actually, it's also beside Jalan Ampang, but it's fall under Taman Newton area. They come with small sizes. So if you're looking at here, M Suite completed in 2013, they come with like small size, 1 bedroom, 1 bath is about 750. Comparing to all the new launches here in Taman Newton area, all come with big sizes. They are duplexes, penthouse, it's all above. There's nothing below like 2,000 in this area. However, even though they come with big sizes, the rental per square foot is about 4 ringgit 23 cent. Asking is above 1,001. Rental yield was also quite good. It's about 4.47 lah. I mean, to justify at this big size, at this, I would say more towards the own stay kind of wide area, they're asking per square foot, their rental per square foot and their rental yield also actually quite good as well, comparing to other area. So on O in Taman Newton, the rental per square foot is about 3 17 cent. Asking per square foot is about 950 per square foot. Rental yield is about 4.05%. So basically, all these Taman Newton area, they come with big sizes, with the exception M Suites, which is the only one with small sizes in the area. So if you're looking at M Suite, right, so they are smaller sizes, the 1 bedroom has actually the best yield. So I would say either they go for the biggest size in this Taman Newton area, they go for like big layout above 2,000, or they go for the smallest. Okay, so this is why the smallest 1 bed, 1 bathroom, they can make about 4.65% of yield in this area, which has a lot of big sizes. So on the next one, we are looking at Kampong Berembam area. I would say this area was actually quite special, where people was talking about Airbnb lah. We all know lah, there's some of the government actually was quite hot with Airbnb, and also some of the government go a lot of issues, maybe go into auctions or certain in this area. But this area actually, I would say, because they're looking for investment. So you can look at their sizes. They all come with generally all small sizes. So it's all below 1,000 square feet. So if you're looking at 3rd Avenue, a 2-bedroom is just 430 square feet. So as small as this size, they can cut into 2 rooms. Okay, in this area, when I go through the discussion, do the research, everyone was saying that Kampong Berembam or Jalan Ampang, this is the area come with only small sizes. Everyone was looking to like more towards an investment kind of layout in this area, comparing to others like Taman Newton, because Taman Newton come with big size ma. Even though their per square feet might be cheaper, but their absolute price is actually all above 1.5 or 2 million and above one. But this Kampong Berembam area is the only area that people can find, probably I would say 1 million and below on their absolute price point, comparing to others. So people are looking here for investment, come with small sizes. So on rental yield wise, I would say is about, for new one in this area is above 5%, 5.05. And also asking per square foot is close to 750 today. Rental per square foot is about 3 ringgit and 13 cents. You see, looking at Kampong Berban, even though people are looking for an investment kind of point of view, but comparing to the Jalan Ampang west side, where the pavilion, the link, the intermark area, the rental per square foot for this so-called like more towards an investment value, rental per square foot actually fetch lower in this area comparing to the one we have discussed just now. So so I was just wanted to highlight this, whether this actually fetch into most of the investors kind of mindset where they wanted to actually invest in this area, but can the rental actually fetch higher with such sizes in this area? So if you're looking at O1 in this area where you have MCT, there where they launched about 900 or close to 1,000 per square foot last time, but today asking is about, I would say January is about 680 per square feet, but the rental yield is about 4.6%. It's not even above 5%. And the elements is the one for the O1 is above 5%. So on average, Kampong Berban O property, their rental yield is about 4.87%. Asking today is about 600 per square feet. Rental per square feet is low, about RM2.41. So this is Ampang Hile area, where this is also area come with big sizes. So this Ampang Hile also Novo Reserve, which is just fall under Ampang Hile context where we are discussing today, but this is also just next to Jalan Ampang. They come with dual key or duplexes, but something special is this, they come with dual key concept. Even they are renting out studio today is about 2,004 to 2,005 ringgit per square feet. It just so happen to be half of this dual key average rental unit. So the rental per square foot is close to 6.56 ringgit. Asking per square foot is close to 1,003. But as far as I know, this Novo Reserve, when they were launched, they was actually selling about 1,004 per square feet. So the rental yield for this is about 5.68%. I would say this is considered quite high in the area with the investment value people are looking at dual key concept. Okay, but on the old side of Ampang Hile, we have Bimbu and Serai Ampang Hile. Rental per square feet is about 3.38. Asking per square foot is close to 1,001. Okay, rental is about 3.51. But basically, Ampang Hile actually don't have much high-rise condo. They all come with low-rise bungalow, semi-detached house in this area. It's also similar to Taman Newton side. So I actually make a summary for all area. Jalan Ampang west side, which is near to close to Intermark Link area. The rental per square feet, if you exclude this Ampang Hile and as a Novo Reserve, the small size, because Ampang west side come at big sizes, right? Because we are talking about Oxford and Mayfair residence by Pavilion Suites. The rental per square is close to 6 ringgit. Asking today is about 1,380. Rental view wise is about 5.17 for a big size context. So another big size context here is Taman Newton, where we have all above 2,000 square feet, but our rental per square feet is 4.23. Asking today is still able to ask about 1,001 per square foot. Rental is about 4.47. So for small size where people are looking at investment kind of value, the rental per square foot, I would say if you're looking at rental per square foot context, they actually didn't fetch as high as the other area. Kampong Berban has the lowest rental per square feet. Even though people are looking at an investment kind of concept in this area, then the asking per square feet is about 750. I would say most of the Kampong Berban property, when they were launched much higher than this asking per square feet today. On the rental yield wise, a Kampong Berban is about 5.05%. So on average for the new in this Jalan Ampang area, okay, rental per square feet is close to 5 ringgit. Asking is about 1,001. Rental is about above 5.09%. So if you are looking at all context in this area, Jalan Ampang west side, okay, it still stands as the, I would say, the highest rental per square feet. Asking is about close to 1,080 per square feet today. Rental is 3.90. So something to highlight at this area, looking at Taman Newton as the big size context, you see their new and old actually not much difference. Just justify their own stay big size actually won't really make won't affect each other. They are new and old. They are able to hold the prices, the asking per square feet. The yield is actually quite similar. If you are talking about more towards investment value, some of the area can like Jalan Ampang west side, they can fetch a higher rental per square foot, high rental yield. But you see O1 in Kampong Berbam as low as RM2.41 for their rental. Their rental yield is also below 5%. If you're looking at some investment, so most of the time when we look at investment, people are wanted to get a better yield, right? So people are looking about probably about 5% and above, so they can cover some of their costs when they're buying purchasing the houses. So for the old property in Jalan Ampang, rental per square feet is about RM3.09. Asking per square foot is close to 1,000, except Kampong Berbam that is asking about 600 and below. Rental is about 4.08%. So this is something that I just dig a little bit inside, just wanted to see, as people are saying, Jalan Ampang 1 street down from KLCC. Let's see how these two area big sizes performance, because Taman Newton, Ampang West Side and Ampang Kiri, they come with, I would say, big size, all above 2,000. Just in this context, we are discussing in this table today, is all above 2,000 square feet. I'm not considering those like 1,007, 1,008, or 1,005. It might look as a big size in KLCC, because KLCC, a lot of investment product, right? They come with very, very small sizes. So I just take in consideration of KLCC big sizes in today's context. So if you're looking at this average KLCC rental per square feet on this area is about RM3.27. Asking is actually lowest among all these big sizes, Taman Newton, Ampang West Side, Ampang Hilir. For big size, okay, not the small size. Just want to highlight. They are asking about lower than 1,000 per square feet. Rental yield is about 4.21%. So Taman Newton big sizes perform rentals per square feet also better, even in Ampang West Side or Ampang Hilir area compared to our KLCC area. So probably in this, I would say, Jalan Ampang Road, those big sizes asking or rental per square foot or even use actually better, except Ampang Hilir area, because Ampang Hilir area actually come with lesser, I would say, lesser sample for us to study in this Ampang Hilir area. They actually lower sample size comparing to Newton or Ampang West or even KLCC, because KLCC got a lot of development come with big sizes, especially in Conley or Stornor or Kiaping area. They come with big size. So if you're looking at Conley, Stornor and Kiaping area, they come with super big sizes, but their rental is also as low as 4.02%. It's not even better than comparing to Newton or West Side area on general. So KLCC, maybe they go for more towards investment product. Their small size actually performs better. But in Newton and Ampang West Side, their big size also perform quite good. I didn't say their small size not good. I would just say their big size able to perform quite, on an average point of view, they are quite good performance as well. So just on a summary of versus new and old, basically actually I pulled this table just to look at their layout differences, just to see which area or which layout actually would looks better. So in Jalan Ampang West Side, they are new, basically they come with big sizes, 4 to 5 bedroom. Their use is about 4.28%, comparing to the old one, they come with like 1 bedroom, but it's lower, 4.66%. Even new one in this Jalan Ampang West Side also actually perform quite good. In specifically like Taman Newton area, where we have all big sizes, right? There are 3, 4, 5 bedroom, all generally is about 4.8% lah. But if looking at old one in Taman Newton, the small sizes is all lower than the Taman Newton big sizes, big layout. So in Kampong Beremban, where you have all the small layout, so the smallest layout has actually the better yield. So you looking at the old one, the small layout in the Kampong Beremban also have better yield than the big layout in Kampong Beremban itself. So Ampang Hilir, this is Novo that we are talking in the context. So their rental is 5.60%. So their old one, bigger size area, bigger layout, actually have a better rental yield comparing to the smaller layout in this area. So this is just for you guys. Maybe you want to see which diamond that actually I pull out the rental, the per square feet, just for your contacts to see. Okay, probably you wanted to see or you miss out the KLCC big size contacts. You maybe wanted to see which of the diamond. You can just go through the slide, or you can watch back our KLCC Battle Royale in the YouTube channel. So this is the launch versus transacted prices. So basically, I would say most of the diamond in the Jalan Ampang, when there was launched and the price transacted, actually most of the buyer, I would say they did not make money, or even they selling at a loss when they wanted to let go. Because generally, especially like maybe U-turn or Ampang Hilay area, they come with big sizes. They are unable to dispose the unit at the prices that was actually launched or transacted today. So they would probably wanted to hold, because I would say there is a lot of supply in the area, but there's not much people can buy on the prices, because on an absolute price point of view, like Taman U-turn, Ampang Hilay, they all come with generally very big sizes. All is about 2 million above, 2.5, 3, 4, 5 millions in this area. So the only one they can buy may probably in like Jalan Ampang west side or Kampong Berembang area. So on Jalan Ampang west side, the only one I would say transacted higher than the launch per square foot was the Pavilion Embassy, looking it as a pavilion, I would say a branded suite. And also the rental per square foot and rental is actually above 5%. So if looking at Kampong Berembang area, 3rd Avenue, where we talk about the size is as small as 450 square feet for a 2-bedroom, right? So making the yield is looking so good, above 5%. But when there was launched about 800 per square feet. Some will even buy 850 or 900 per square feet. But today was transacted about 660 per square feet. Low about 150 difference in terms of their transacted comparing to their launch prices. Most on like Ate, MCT element, they was actually launched at a higher price point of when comparing to their transacted or even their asking today. So 3rd Avenue, you can see the asking is close towards their launch per square feet, but in realistic, their transacted was lower in comparison to the others area. So this is the launch versus transacted in the area. So this is on just
I think let's just go back, Abby, right? Let's bring the panelists, right? Let's just have a quick discussion, right? So I think there was a suggestion, right? I think in the Q&A saying we should highlight the selling price of the previously launched development, right? Which we have done. We didn't do it in the last Battle Royale. I think we briefly mentioned, right? This round around, we actually put it, right? So for the sake of everyone. So, I've got no beef with Jalan Ampang. My team has got no beef with Jalan Ampang. We don't like Jalan Ampang for a very simple reason. It's just fucking hard to make money, guys, here. Right? Many of this property, for example, if I recall correctly, like for example, Zahiri was talking about M Suites. I remember at that point of time, I had a, pretty I would say racist friend when I was in Stanchart, right? And she was very happy to board M Suites because there was a queue. At 800 ringgit per square foot, there was a queue. People have to ballot, people have to wait at a point of time. And I'm looking at it, I don't get it, right? I don't get it. And the reason, right? And the reason why I don't get it, because 800 ringgit per square foot, if you look at it backwards, you have to rent at certain price point, like 2,500, 3,000 per month, just to get to break even. With Jalan Ampang at that point of time, it's just very hard. You got no new MRT coming up, you got no new booster, no new mall, no new infrastructure coming up, changing the area, landscape of the area, which to me is a struggle. So if you look at it from MCT to M Suites to Element to Arte, right? Basically, none of them made money. Right? That's just the reality lah. You go KLCC, you can still pinpoint things that you can buy, right? Like for example, like V-Port, right? KLCC Soho. These are developments that basically made money lah post 2010 lah. Jalan Ampang is just tak ada lah, right? What's
But
your take?
all properties, like from a developer point of view, they make money lah,
Obviously, yeah, right?
right? So
Yeah.
the story. So M Suites is where my first seminar to property guru class. Yeah, so that time was the one of the very first zero money down deal lah. That was like,
Excuse ah. Wow.
so that time like, whoa, what is zero money down? Whoa, that time I was like, I think 19 or something like that. So like sometimes when we think as investors, like you don't like MCT, you don't like Jalan Ampang because it does not make money for the buyers or investors, but all developers all make money. That is another different perspective, and I'm also again shout out to LB and Zairi for the research, right? It again indicates one simple junction away, the characteristic of prices can change so much. And just when I thought like, okay lah, we make property investment way easier right now via all this session, right? I think after this session, people just give up. Because it's so difficult. You look at now, so I think across the learnings all this while, I think branded makes some sense. Like if I don't know what to do, just follow the brand. But this one so far is only one brand. Then then for big units, right? I have a question actually. Like, would you buy Yutan mega units, or you buy 3 smaller units at Kampong Perempuan? Although the yields are higher, but Jalan Yutan's value retains.
So
Yeah.
I've got a theory, interesting theory behind it.
Okay.
Right? So the people who are buying Yutan and Ampang Hile, the bottom side of this are old.
Okay.
They're not Zairi, they're not me, they're not you, they're not LB. They're not targeting people who have no clue where Jalan Ampang is. These people who basically own your 10 million ringgit bungalow in Yutan or Ampang Hile side, who's downgrading, right, to a single floor 3,000, 4,000 square foot lah. So from a 15,000 square foot bungalow to a 3,000 square foot apartment, it makes sense from a security point of view, right? So it's the old money. So if you're talking about new breed coming to the area, right? So the richer side will go to the west side, your pavilion, your skyline, right? So nearby the Intermark near side, right? While the poorer version of the newbie coming to this area are all going to Kampung Berban side. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I might have simplified the whole evolution of Jalan Ampang over 10 years into a simple 2-minute statement, but I just cannot comprehend. For me, I could never comprehend. And to me, anyone who paid 1,000 ringgit per square foot in Jalan Ampang is just plain nuts. Until we do this Battle Royale. Right? So to me, which idiot go pay above 1,000 per square foot one? Right? So that was always my no, I never liked Jalan Ampang because a lot of people lost money. So you see, you could lose money in KLCC, but you don't lose 40% of the property value. Unlike RT. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yep.
It's just very hard to lose 30 to 40%. Jalan Ampang is common. Unfortunately, it's very strange for me. So I dislike it simply because a lot of people die like crazy in Jalan Ampang. Right? So that's why lah. Right? So like I said, Ampang Hile, Yutan side, if you look at, there are not many units for sale, prices are holding, rental is holding because supply is actually extremely limited. I really suspect the people who buy are all old money. right? So your old money, your embassy guys, a couple of units. So this guy's gonna own a couple of units there. So it's similar to how, like, you know, you got your 15 units owner of Mont Kiara, right? It's the same guy buying over and over again. They know the game inside out. Right?
Faizul, I have a question. Is it that those are buying Jalan Ampang is because of they cannot afford KLCC? Because it's not like these days lah, like there's a lot of shoe boxes in KLCC. And last time it was big sizes, right? So those cannot buy in KLCC, they are looking a bit further in Jalan Ampang lah, until Kampung Berembang.
So if you're talking about the Yutan and Ampang Hile side, to me it doesn't make sense because it is actually more expensive than KLCC proper.
Yeah, when I see the discussion, everyone say like
very
Jalan
soon.
Ampang is a
Yeah.
premium area. All the old rich people was what they really choose to stay in Jalan Ampang, and they're very proud to stay in, like, I stay in Jalan Ampang. I bought Jalan Ampang property. That's
Yeah.
their perception comparing to KLCC. Yeah.
Correct. So which I suspect again is the old money lah. It's the same guy who be staying in Ampang Hile, Yutan all the while. They will never move to KLCC. It's like my mother. Right? So you know, she stay in landed in, you know my origin lah. I'm not gonna announce it to the whole world, right? I asked her to move to Mont Kiara, I mean she doesn't want. Right? So old people are quite set in their belief lah. So again, old people, old money, you know, retired, I've got a couple of million in the bank. I don't give a shit about KLCC. I don't give a shit about making money. I'm just gonna stay in this area where I like, my friends are here. Now I'm gonna downgrade, right? Technically downgrade lah, you know, to a 3 million ringgit apartment, right?
But historically, Jalan Ampang came first, right?
Yeah, correct.
So I think for Zairi's statement, then not really. I think last time no money you go KLCC.
I mean, if you are comparing small units, no money, you go to Beremban side lah.
Probably
No,
stay for
okay.
Berembang lah.
I think it's the just timeline wise lah. So like last time when the golf course was there, all the landed houses were there. When it was still horse race course, KLCC was nothing much really.
Yep. Right. So if you're talking about large units, I think it was a deliberate move to actually buy something in Jalan Ampang versus KLCC. Because if you look at it from 2005 all the way, let's say for example, the 2010, which is the golden era of launches in KLCC, right? Whereby you've got all the 3,000 square foot unit, 4,000 square foot unit. They're not selling very expensive. The highest was 1,000 per square foot. So technically, it's actually more expensive to buy something in Jalan Ampang. Right? Yet these guys deliberately go and buy something in Jalan Ampang rather than going to KLCC proper lah. Right? So for me, if you're asking me the choice today, would I pay 1,000 per square foot to buy large units in Jalan Ampang versus 1,000 per square foot to buy something in KLCC? To me, it's a no-brainer decision lah. Right? I'm going to go KLCC. Right? But because I don't have affinity towards Jalan Ampang, I don't have a preference. To me, it doesn't make sense. Right? Why would Jalan Ampang be worth more compared to proper KLCC? But I guess for the old money, for people who used to stay there, it's an area that I'm familiar with. I know people who buy Bangsa will never move out from Bangsa. Right? My mentor will never buy anything other than bungalow lots in Bangsa. And he owns like 20 of them. Right? He swears by them, right? Because he can rent 30,000 to 60,000 per house, per bungalow. He got 20 of them, is a couple of million per month. Right? So it works for him. It works for him. Why change?
Yeah.
So and as far as new launches is concerned, when you're talking about small units, right? You know, again, the Beremban side is where people no money go buy there lah. Want to claim stay in KLCC area but no money go buy the Beremban side, right? The east side. Have a little bit of money, go buy on the west side. Proper KLCC, then go buy proper KLCC. Right?
Okay,
so,
just for perspective, like Beremban side is still better than the Selangor side of Ampang, right? Way better, right?
Way better lah. Way better.
So they are not the worst Jalan Ampang lah. Just that in this discussion is the worst lah, right?
Between the four is the worst, right?
Okay, just for context lah. You know, right? A lot of people buy there in the comment section, then like what?
I mean, there's a comment here that says someone wants to raise a family. Jalan Ampang makes more sense compared to KLCC, which I agree. Right? There are schools in Jalan Ampang. There are hospitals in Jalan Ampang, which is Glen Eagles, right? Which somehow Jalan Ampang is weird lah. It's the only place whereby I see all developer use a hospital as a selling point.
But there's still got a lot of land this across this road, right? Left, right, around the road is all the old used car seller.
Yeah.
Still got a lot
Yeah. But I mean, Sean, have you seen any other area that basically uses hospital as a selling point?
Lately got. Lately.
Jalan
But last
Ampang,
time,
historically, in the last 10 years, it's all like Glen Eagles, medical tourism, Glen Eagles. It's very funny.
there was a project launched next to Glen Eagles that was for elderly one, is it? Do you guys have any research on it?
Elderly.
It was a elderly that it was again like I think 10 years ago.
Oh.
I did so.
Is it 10 years ago? Or is it just recently, like a couple of years ago? I recall. It's an elderly co-living. It's the first one.
Yeah.
Shit, I forgot the name. Getting old.
Yeah, also, so I think that was the only one that I thought, hey, new concept, maybe this will work.
Yeah.
But I think tak jadi pun kan.
I don't think it happened.
Oh, right. Yes. Seraya, yes. In the comment section.
Yeah. So I think that's one which is actually quite reasonably successful in Jalan Ampang. In fact, I had a conversation with NK Tong, which is the BKP boss, right? And he was talking about, when I spoke to him about the idea of elderly co-living, and he said, go and refer to this particular property in Jalan Ampang. But I forgot the name of the hotel. They converted to become elderly co-living. Apparently doing quite well. So again, old money lah.
Old money.
Old money in Jalan Ampang. Right? So very, very, very weird in a way, right? The mix is either super young or super old. Right?
Okay.
So
question. If I bought a Jalan Ampang property and I'm now losing money, okay, what would the suggested action plan be?
Cut loss.
No, okay, that's not like
Very
too
good
late,
question. It's either cut at this loss or cut at that loss.
right? Correct, right? So it's like now, like when you say like now, I think I don't know what you mentioned in the live a few days ago. It's like all the data indicating a bull run coming whatsoever. At this current junction of this tonight, I'm still holding one unit. Do I sell? So I'm renting out like 4% yield, but I lost 30% of it. Do I wait for recovery? Or do I what do I do?
So in a way, you better pray very hard
Aiyo.
to all of the gods that you might know that I'm right about the bull run. Right?
Yep.
So that's number one, right? Because all bull run will leave everything, right? So that's that. Unfortunately, the not so good news here is that while Jalan Ampang is tier 1, but it will always follow the tail of KLCC. In order for, let's say, for example, if you bought something in Jalan Ampang at 1,200 ringgit per square foot, right? And you're looking to sell at 1,005 lah, just to make a 20%, cover interest cost, renovation, negative cash flow, years of suffering, right? So 20% gain lah. A little bit of money. In order for you to be worth, for your Jalan Ampang to go from your median of about 900 average today to about 1,005, KLCC has to be an average of 2,005. Does that make sense? Right? So for Jalan Ampang to make it, KLCC has to make it first. Unfortunately.
That's a big challenge because currently the price difference is not that huge.
So the question is that I don't know, because right now I used to think that the coming bull run will be a moderate one. Moderate one, then my answer to you, Sean, is going to be minimum 5 years of further losses, right?
Mm.
And then you can probably sell after 8 years or 9 years. So from the looks of it, all the indicators are basically saying that we might be heading for a golden era for Malaysia. So golden
Oh.
from an economy point of view, golden era from a property point of view. So everything is now nicely mixed because you got a situation of whereby Fed is cutting interest rate,
Yeah.
right? Fed is cutting interest rate, right? And we don't have opportunity to raise interest rate as a result, right? We've got a couple of mega projects coming up that will further light up the property industry. I always had the belief that the high-speed rail will, I would say, accelerate, right? The journey towards the peak of the property bull run, right? So I think once the HSR is announced and people start building it, the level of speculation is that I'm not surprised that people speculate because see all the way to 3,000 per square foot. Right? So will that happen in 3 years, 5 years, 7 years? I don't know. Right? Because it depends on policies. How many good news being stacked up after one good news after another.
So, in other words, it needs the perfect timing to get back what you get lah. What you put in lah.
Unfortunately, when you enter at the wrong price,
Yeah.
you need a lot of things to go right for you to go make money. Right? So at the end of the day, that's the most unfortunate bit about you buying at the wrong price.
Yeah. So I think for that's to provide some value for the audiences, right? This is what I learned a lot from crypto. It's very easy to just follow the herd, follow the news, and ride the wave, hoping the next guy will buy and take over your chair. In property, the cycle works way slower. Per cycle is like 15 years. Then yeah, I think a lot of people like here when they buy 7 years ago, bleed already now still lose 20%, right?
Yep.
Wow, painful though. Very, very
Yes,
painful.
I mean
Some
just
property actually their launch were probably about like 1,003. Then they adjusted to 1,002, 1,001. They adjust even lower. Then they probably now selling because everyone say property is becoming better now. Probably they adjust slightly higher, but they are still lower than their firstly launched price, especially in Jalan Ampang area. But just not to mention which property. Actually quite a number. Actually adjusted lower and lower their price point when they was first launched comparing last time in this area. So probably they actually, I would say, suffer quite a loss, especially comparing to the transacted price at today. Yeah. In this area.
Yep. So you've got a situation whereby in order for Jalan Ampang to make money, then the KLCC folk has to make money first. Right? So that would be my take lah. The good news here is that, you know, if we are right about the property bull run and economically speaking, Malaysia entering a golden era in the next 5 years, you know, your pain and suffering could end in 5 years. You could end up even making money lah. Because if people are speculating, KLCC at 3,000 per square foot, Jalan Ampang should be worth at least half. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah, you are 10 minutes away, 15 minutes away, half price. Hey, you look cheap leh. Right? The problem when people, what I think why people lost money is because they entered Jalan Ampang not at the severe discount versus KLCC. They bought at 10-20% cheaper only back then. So, you know, you don't make lah. Other than big size unit, and the reason why big size unit made sense is because limited supply. Like very limited lah.
Yep.
I think there's probably there's something that we didn't touch on. Like in Kampung Berembang, there's a lot of auctions unit, right? So probably those that already bought Kampung Berembang. I think this is my other question that they wanted to ask lah. Like, is it that when the auction units gets lesser, that's when the price will actually goes up for them lah? Because you see here, the transaction in Kampung Rembang already 600 plus per square foot. Auction is much lower lah. So is it for the auction to actually slow down is a good indicator for the price to goes up for Kampung Rembang?
So like my view is this: there's two things, right? Number one here is that basically 3 points. Number one, I think Jalan Ampang is the like capital of cashback deals in the country. So for the wrong reason, right? So for the wrong reason, you are the capital of cashback deals in the country lah. It's like every property in Jalan Ampang so got cashback. You know what I mean? Well, people literally buy Jalan Ampang for cashback.
That is so true.
You think about it, right? In other area, you got 1 or 2 property, right? Jalan Ampang is like everything, you know.
Yes,
You know, so it's damn fucked up on. So I'm not sure why, but it's like majority of the property Jalan Ampang all are cashback plays. Unfortunately, so cashback plays combined with not so bright group of investors, right?
Inflated
price. Combined with naive rental strategy, which is Airbnb, Gleneagles, you know, for the last 10 years, it's the same story. All the agents think the same story, right? Medical tourism, Airbnb, Gleneagles, right? So, you know,
a beautiful nightmare.
and you have 1,000 of people doing it. Well, there's not gonna be a happy ending, right? So as a result, multiple projects got hit by multiple MPL. Right? So I think I forgot lah. I think there's a page on Facebook last time do auction. So they even award, right? Arte was like the you know, king of auction for I don't know which year lah. Right? So it's not crazy. And here's the worst part, right? I know someone bought from auction and Arte, bought for 500,000, still lose money. So 50% discount, still lost money. Right? Right? So it's just bad lah. Right? It's just bad shit after one another, right? So you got a situation whereby some banks don't want to finance Jalan Ampang or certain projects or certain developer in Jalan Ampang, right? And then you got a scenario whereby there's high NPL because of, you know, the number of cashback plays available in Jalan Ampang. So I find Jalan Ampang to be quite peculiar. And last but not least is the stigma lah, right? So Arte as of today, while the number of auction units coming out from Arte has reduced significantly in the last 2 to 3 years, it has never been able to shake away from the stigma of tempat lubuk lelong. Right? And people lost 30, 40, 50%, right? And it's not being helped by all these auction guys telling story. Oh, last time SPA, this guy 1,001. Today I buy auction 450.
That's
right?
how they tell it lah.
Right? So obviously they don't, you know, these guys probably never heard of this thing called rebate, right? So you got your SPA price, then the discount, like 700 ringgit per square foot. They think people are literally buying. So, but there's a lot of public which is also not educated, right? So they really think if you buy Jalan Ampang, wow, from 1,001 become 450 per square foot in Lelong. If buy Jalan Ampang, I lose money. But in the reality, Jalan Ampang is the only area that has got this story. Right? And it's consistent. Every year has got this story. Right? So I find, like I said, Jalan Ampang has got a stigma, which is very hard to turn. Right? Especially, for example, certain developments that has been hit by multiple fraud and auction, like RT. Very unfortunate. But unfortunately, it is what it is. And, you know, that stigma is very hard to shake away. I don't know how many banks will finance RT today. RT Ampang.
But it sticks with a project, right? Not a developer, right?
Does it impact the whole area of Kampung Rembang?
Yeah, actually, a lot of Kampung Rembang count a lot of auction today.
Yeah.
And also the prices.
So the one opposite the Astoria, is it Astoria? One opposite.
Yes.
That one, the 2 blocks finished already, or still
under construction. There are 4 blocks, 2 under con, 2 completed.
Yeah.
Or under con so long.
Yep. I think the last two block, C and D, is still under construction. I think completing next year. A and B completed 2 or 3 years ago.
So my perspective, I go because I'm obsessed with landscape LLAM awards. I see which one win award, then which one I go. So this one is the one that I particularly go and visit, but it's an auction fiesta at the same time. So you won landscape award, then they still also auction like mad. Yeah.
Nah, I think there's a comment. Top lelong would be RT, MCT elements. Sounds about right. Sounds about right.
So what's the hope? You see the lelong going down, right? Numbers, but what's the hope for them?
Like I said, KLCC have to move up before Jalan Ampang becomes a hotspot. And if you look at the number of transactions today, while you can see prices are holding in Jalan Ampang, but man, the velocity of the transaction is just very bad. I've calculated the whole 4 areas combined, West Side, East Side, Yutan, Ampang, Hilly in the last 2 years, less than 170 transactions.
Yeah, right. Half than KLCC lah.
Half than KLCC, half than Bukit Bintang, not even 25%, not even 1/4 of Mont Kiara.
So
for tier 1.
Yeah, so that's where like just now the answer that I was hoping for the audience or owners who have owned is if can let go and if you can afford to let go, got buyer want to buy, I think let go. Instead of waiting for the bull run to come.
I strongly believe that the bull run is coming. I think letting go today will be 50,000 to 100,000 to potentially 200,000 lower, right? And today I think to let go, I think in many of these projects, you probably have to let go at a loss.
Yeah. So do you cut loss, sell now?
I'll keep for 2 years minimum.
Or you suggest to keep some more?
So let's do the math, right? Let's do the math, right? Let's say you negative 1,000 per month, right? Today. And Jalan Ampang, right? So let's do the scenario. You negative 1,000, right? Let's say you sell today, you incur a loss of 50,000 ringgit. Right? Confirm you lost 50,000 ringgit. Because it's shit in Jalan Ampang as of today, right? It's a bloodbath today. There's no demand. You sell today, you cut loss 50,000. You rent today, you negative cash flow 1,000. Right? You keep for 2 years, you lose 24,000. But you can sell 50,000 to 100,000 higher. Right?
Unless if you can buy a better properties and you afford to cut the loss.
I mean, if you can buy a better property, it's great But if you buy better property, it's still not smart to cut the loss Just buy better property to cover your negative 1,000 cash flow, right? Right. So to me, that would be ideal. So rather than, because to me, put it this way I think anyone selling property in the next 24 months, I think you're gonna regret it. It's like you sell the property in 2010, 2011, you made a little bit of money. Only to realize that 2 or 3 years later, everyone made 100 to 200,000 more. Right? So when the economy is doing well and when you have a property bull run, right, logic is completely out of the window. People literally buy because they think it's just going to get more expensive next year. Right? So we just did client webinar, right? So, okay I'm not supposed to say this, right? But anyway, this data is actually in Epic, but people don't understand. Okay? For those who do not know, the number of supply started in 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, even first half of 2024 is still lower than pre-COVID number of 2019. And 2019, we already have a property downturn. We are nowhere near the number of units being started in 2014, 2015, 2016 at the peak of the bull run. Nowhere near. So what does this basically mean? We are looking at a record number of transactions. This year, most likely, it's going to be top 3, top 2, or top 1 number of property transactions in the last 30 years of Malaysia. So this year is looking to be a record year. Right? and you still have a problem with a developer not launching enough property because cost has basically gone up lah. There's no profit. They cannot overprice. They cannot overcharge. The market is not there yet, right? So you have a situation whereby you're going to have undersupply in property, right? And the number of people buying is getting more and more, right? Guys, first half this year versus first half last year, 20% higher transaction. 20%. These are all bull run numbers, right? So, like I said, I think while it sounds a little bit speculative, but the numbers and the data as of today suggest that we already enter the beginning of the next property bull run. So I think anyone who sell something this year to cut loss, I think will very much regret that decision in the next 3 to 5 years. If I'm wrong, you lose 24,000. But your property today will not be cheaper in 2 years from now. That I can guarantee you. Anything that you sell today will not be cheaper 2 years from now. Right? Even in Jalan Ampang. See, as much as I don't like Jalan Ampang, I'm still quite partial about the advice. So keep guys, hope is coming around the corner, but you better pray I'm right lah.
Well, I think all the owners of the Jalan Ampang are over. Wow, what a great question, Sean. Oh,
Thank you for
Really?
saying what has not, no one dares to ask.
Well, I think
Right.
also quite shameful. Like, oh, I buy Jalan Ampang, but now I think if you're an owner of Arte Ampang, also you like, how Well, ask Sean also later kena laugh lah. Ask Faizul kena fuck lah, right? So,
Yeah.
so no.
I think these three lah, Arte, MCT, Element, yeah. If you are owners of this, hang tight lah. Hope is coming, right? And the other thing here is that there's hope for the worst part of Jalan Ampang, which is the Bremban or the east side, right? Because you got MRT3 coming your way to rescue it. So it will help only the Bremban side of Jalan Ampang. It's not going to help the west side. It's not going to help Yutan. It's not going to help Ampang Hili. So your elements, MCT will actually be quite walking distance. RT also will not be too far away. Astoria also will not be too far away. Okay.
Kesian all those that sell last year.
Huh?
For those who sold 2 years ago, oh kesian.
Okay lah, tak banyak transaction pun. So, if you look at it, it's all like belas only in the last 2 years. So, not a lot of transaction too. So, okay lah. Yeah. Okay,
Right.
I'll be continue.
Okay, that's interesting discussion. Okay, so I guess they actually make most of the summary over here just to bring back the context. Probably on Jalan Ampang west side will have the highest rental yield for the big size, like 5.1, above 5%. Asking today is about 1,003 for this Oxford's and Embassy that was transacted higher than was launched. So they're asking today. So if on Kampong, the other area, Kampong Berbang, which is on the east side area, there's offer most of it is like small size unit targeting for investment. So on absolute price point of view, they're actually lower in terms of their entry price comparing to other area where most of the absolute price was start from 2 million because they are all big sizes. So I would say due to the lesser competition of this small size in U-turn and Ampang Hili, which is more meant for own say this is why Kampong Berbang, they are targeting more on investment, probably on a medical tourism as well. People talk about clean eagles. Okay, so the rental in Kampong Berbang for this small size seems to perform quite alright, but above 5%. So other than this, all big size area in Jalan Ampang west side or U-turn or Ampang Hili area still able to ask for quite high per square feet. It's about 1,050 just to justify their move towards an own stay criteria. They're able to hold at that price point. So Jalan Ampang west side, Taman U-turn on general, all big size perform better than KLCC area. So layout wise, Taman U-turn area is better on their yield for the big size. For Kampong Berbang, the small layout performs better. So let's go and see Airbnb. I was actually do this just to see. I thought one street down away, confirm very hot. Because very close to KLCC already. But the finding was so interesting. When I count. This is the only Airbnb map that I actually really counted how many listings. It's on total is only 147 listings. Yeah, actually very, very less. Lesser than our KLCC, Mont Kiara, or even Mont Kiara. Like this area also have more listing than this our Jalan Ampang. Even though people are selling Jalan Ampang, selling as a medical tourism, Airbnb, Ate, everyone know, right? So, but to be honest, the listing in this area actually very, very less. So on this is Jalan Ampang west side, close to Intermark Link or closest towards KLCC area. Their daily rate actually looks better. It's about above 300 per square feet for 2-bedroom, or for 3-bedroom, it's close up to 700. This is more towards a branded suite. So if we're talking about on Kampong Berbam area where people look mostly is about investment and people are selling Airbnb on this area, or even for just one street down the Jelatek area like Astrum, everyone is selling Airbnb, small sizes. But to be honest, their occupancy might be looks slightly okay, about 50% on general current, not thinking about their best. I did actually interview 2 of their Airbnb operator in this area. They would say their highest occupancy they can go is about 80%. The number of listing they have is close to 50 to 60 in this Kampong Berbam area. But their rate can be very low. Some of the owners actually are throwing prices. You can get as low as 150 per night for a studio, or 120 for a studio. So basically for Kampong Berbam area, even though people are looking at it as an investment Airbnb concept of view, but the revenue on a total revenue point of view, they're actually making lower comparing to closest to KLCC area. Even though this is just one street down away. Probably I would say because this is already very close to KLCC, they actually have much more better Airbnb in KLCC. Since they're already renting out at close to KLCC or Pavilion area, they might just wanted to pay a little bit more or top up some money just to stay just in KLCC or something walkable to KLCC, Petronas, Twin Towers, comparing to just staying this area. That's why Kampong Berbam, they're not selling it as a KLCC thing, but they're selling a medical tourism in this area because they know people are not going to buy on this KLCC at this Kampong Berbam area, probably more towards medical tourism. But the rate wise is actually very low. Occupancy can be about 50%, on the current best about 60 or 65%. But revenue wise, because of the daily rate is actually relatively low, I would say, comparing to other areas, especially in KLCC. This is why their revenue actually quite low, about 20 to 30,000 or 40,000 per year on the general point of view. Some of the unit listing are not even open up for the whole year. Probably they open only 100 days or the 200. I would say 100 days, 150 days on the general. Some even lesser than 100 days on this kind of visit. I would say they might see that they can't even survive on Airbnb. This is why they just change back to general on whole unit rental in this area, comparing to just renting or focusing on Airbnb in this area, because basically everyone is throwing price in this area. So they really probably couldn't really cover, and they don't really have such high demand because they are just really very one street down away from KLCC. People will just really pay for a slight premium and just stay in KLCC, comparing to this area, which is less premium comparing to the other area in this Jalan Ampang. So let's come to our other Battle Royale. So the first one we have is actually Skyline Embassy. It was previously a Jalan Embassy garden lah. This is just next to Jalan Ampang or close to Link lah. This is a freehold. So I would say just wanted to highlight they also come with a specialty of it. small layout, dual key concept. Just now I did say, right, Novo Reserve, they come with dual key concept. So in this Scarlet Embassy, they also come with dual key concept to get more onto their investment. They come with small sizes as well. So completion about 2026 to 2027. Net per square feet today is about 1,100 per square feet. Full facility, they have sky pool, something to highlight, sky pool and sky lounge, because this is closest to KLCC. Most of the people are selling a better facilities, comparing to maybe U-turn area more towards residential. Probably they are not like selling you a sky pool or sky lounge because they are not tall enough in U-turn area. So the next one is the Ashwood Taman U-turn, low density. So it's a freehold. Layout wise, they all come with big sizes. Their smaller size is about 1,003. Then their big size can be as big as 3,000 or even more than that for a villa or 6-bedroom. They come with home lease as well for this particular development. Completion about 2029. Net per square feet is 1,050 per square foot. So they have co-living spaces, swimming pool, basketball court, mostly on the more towards own stay kind of wide, big sizes. So everyone is asking, where is Jelatek in this area? So Jelatek is actually just behind the Aklia, also closest to Kampong Berbam area. So this is Datum Jelatek, where last time when this was launched, I guess everyone was so amazed by the design, the circular link. They come with a mall, but the price point they were launching and also how well did this development perform actually created a lot of discussion about this, right? So we put this in our context today. This is actually a leasehold. They also come with very small size, about 550 to 600 for studio, mainly talking about investment. This is a completed unit. So when they were launched, it's about 800 per square feet to 850 lah today price point. So on facility price point, there's swimming pool, gym, multi-purpose basketball court. This come with Tatong Jelatek Mall attached with this development itself. Okay, this is close to Jelatek LRT station. So the next one, we have Astoria in Kampong Berbam. Two blocks of this is completed. 2 blocks of it is still under construction. So this is why the year of completion here I put about 2026, or probably they say they will complete it by next year. So this come with a mix of small and big sizes. Small size is about 560 square feet. The big size is about penthouse sizes close to 2,000. So net per square feet is about 850 per square feet. Something to highlight here or something special about this Astoria, right? They have Sky Bridge. I mean, in their link, they have tennis court as well. I've been to this Astoria to view their facility. Quite alright, quite nice as well. With the concept they are actually building up. So the next one is Astrom Jelatek, okay, where people a lot are targeting. This Astrom Jelatek, as far as I know, they also come with RSKU, or I would say affordable housing with 1 block, but the affordable housing already sold out. Okay, so but something to highlight, especially for this Astrom Jelatek, this is the, I would say in this whole Jalan Ampang area, this is the highest, or Jelatek lah. Okay, don't say it's Jalan Ampang, this is Jelatek. Okay, they come with the highest density, about 5,002 units in this area, about 6 blocks. Okay, this is a leasehold, come with different layouts, as small as 550, smallest about 280 square feet in this area. So completion about 2026, and as far as I know, this Ashram come with Airbnb concept, and there's going to be managed by the Maple, and profit sharing about 30%. They're going to sign contract for 1 year. So net per square feet is about 850 per square feet. They come with a large facilities, a lot, about 60 plus facilities. That is called basketball court, multi-purpose hall, badminton court, a lot, because they are targeting for Airbnb for this area, and also to target those couples or small size family to stay here, and also close to Jelatek LRT. So the next one, which is actually, I would say, not much people actually know about this This development is actually called the Suites Falls Kampong Peremban. It's a freehold, and it's actually I would say the layout wise is more towards a Soho type. So it's about as small as 308 square feet. The biggest is about 700 plus lah. So number of story about 23 story, net per square feet is about 800 per square feet. They come with rooftop pool and gym and multi-purpose hall. So the suite is actually more towards a Soho type of layout, but not much information in the markets about this one. So the next one is Novo Reserve, actually for in Ampang Kili, or next to, if people want to justify, yes, it's actually next to Jalan Ampang. Okay, this come with small sizes dual key or big size dual key, but not as big as 2,000 and above lah. So I would say this is considered a small site in this area. So it's also a completed, but net per square feet selling today is about 1,004. So they have rooftop pool and gym and lounge area for this Novo Reserve. Okay, so that's all from our Battle Royale. So I'll call out all the panelists. But I heard last time the Novo Reserve, they actually come with fully furnished unit, but you can choose to be not fully furnished as per today lah. Okay, and it's a Russian kind of concept developed this Novo Reserve. And it was launched, if I'm not mistaken, it was launched 2014, 10 years back. Yeah. And there was argument whether this is going to be abandoned unit or not, because it was launched so long and the construction was stopped for quite some time, or I would say slow, not stopped, slow. Yeah.
Who's the developer for this, LB? Novo Reserve?
I think it's a Russian developer, if I'm not mistaken.
Russian.
Was
Russian.
discussing. I think
Yeah,
so.
Bukan Titan Jaya ke?
It's not Titan Jaya, it's Al Kasia something.
Oh,
Franco.
Franco.
No, it's not a local when they was launched when they were launched, their original developer was not a local developer.
Well, this
That's
was
why
the
they are
agile version of the story back then.
I didn't say. I didn't say.
Okay. Just joking, just joking.
So before we go, so I like to ask the audience, we've got more than 100 people tonight, right? So
So
which one,
someone
guys?
who say they bought some of the discussion unit.
So which one? Korang beli yang mana ni? So go back, LB. Apa yang kita ada? We got Novo, we got the Suit, we got Astrum, we got Astoria, we got Datum,
Ashwood or Skyline. Skyline last time was
Ashwood,
called Agile
ataupun
Embassy.
Agile now Skyline lah. So which one?
Okay.
Tak ada poll the people can actually.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
I
should
was
do a
wondering.
poll lah.
I can do now if you want.
Okay. Do now.
Yeah, give me
Better.
2 minutes.
Better.
Sekejap.
Okay, sekejap guys, before kita jawab, right?
Asyik kita je bagi kan.
So hari ni kita melibatkan rakyat.
Mari. Sekejap.
Wow, really? People will buy Astrum? How Wesley, you all buy Astrum? Wow.
A lot of people buy
price
Astrum.
the
When I go
$2.
to the sales gallery, right, the person show me the chatbot. It's like, I think we went to the sales gallery about, I think earlier this year. Like 60% of it is sold. Then of course the RSKU sold the faster lah, because it's the most affordable, right? But they are selling like loft concept for this Astrum area. So we wanted to maximize Astrum's a loft sort to be a bit looks like duplex kind of unit, right? But it's actually a loft, it's not a proper duplex. It's quite, when I see the build up, it's actually quite small. And I would say the number of unit actually very, very high dense lah. And they are targeting for Airbnb. So I was like, 5,000 Airbnb? Okay.
Yeah. So I have a lot of audience who actually write in and ask me to talk about this project. Then when I go in Airbnb, like whatever data you just showed, like, I think, sorry lah for the support.
Yeah, everyone is targeting, and I heard, went to that, it says the expected ROI is about 6%. Yeah, at least 6%.
Size is really, really small. You don't see that in other developments.
But
This is slightly smaller than RC Residency.
270 square feet studio.
The small is 270.
Ooh, okay, never mind. We don't affect the whole, okay? Kacau je. Ay.
Nanti semua pilih, apa Astro also semua tak berani pilih.
I want to go to the datum lah, the Jelatek. As an architectural fan, I am very sad because
Why they didn't allow you to go in?
no. I think now there's only 3 buildings where the security guard actually stopped me from the guard house. From the guard, they show away. You YouTuber kan? You tak boleh
Boleh
masuk.
masuk.
Oh, yo, 3 buildings now. Wow.
The guard knows you.
Oh.
Okay, guys, we've got the poll ready. Let's vote. Ayo, let's see.
Yeah, I didn't put my money down yet. Wait.
Okay, you got 20% now. Let's go, guys. Take 1 minute to vote.
Well, this is so interesting. We should do this moving forward. This is so cool.
Yeah, we should, right?
We can see everyone like.
Well, it's an evolution. This is now what, 5th Battle Royale now. So we get better every time.
This is so cool. And this is live. Like, ooh.
Yeah.
The
Selling
suites. I never heard before the suites also.
No, right?
Ni geng LB ni.
When I do the suite, right, I actually forgot about this and I went to the site video.
We discriminate the suite.
Yeah. So backstory. LB did not put the suits until today.
Oh.
He thought the suits is 10 years old.
Yeah. Because I visited, cannot say it. No, I think the apa bunuh I visited actually. Then I was in my imagination, I remember, I think it's actually quite old. When I go into the surrounding of these, then I thought, okay, then it reminded, it was just completed last year. This year, I think they repeat now.
But just questions, right? Why this episode, the amount of choices, right? It's so mixed. Last time it's all new, but this one you have, you have like.
Because it's still selling him.
Because he's still selling lah.
Yeah.
So our logic here is that we put any property either under construction or completed that still has got developers in it being sold.
Like quite a lot lah. Quite a lot of number unsold lah. Maybe 1 or 2, then of course we tak kira lah. Like more, quite many, then we include.
So Novo is completed together with datum, right? So we put it there simply because there are still units being sold by the developer, by an agent or direct lah. So that's how you put it there. After all, the purpose of Battle Royale is to guide people. If you're gonna go into this area, what do you buy, right? Right. So LB got people requesting, can you go through the sites again? Really, Kevin, you give LB no chance. You literally want her to lose her voice, but never mind. We are prepared for this outcome.
Okay, we go to first Skylight Embassy. This is close to the link, Jalan Tun Razak, or the west side. Okay, in today's context, it's more to the west side. So they come with small sizes, as small as 554 square feet, and something special is dual key lah. When we talk about Novo, they're selling dual key and the
Hey, you just scroll through only. I think you need to describe all again.
1,000 for Skyline.
Don't treat Kevin so good.
Taman Newton is about 1,050 per square feet. This is more towards own stay, big sizes area. Okay, next one is Datum Jelatek. In Jelatek, they come with small. Okay, selling today about 800 per square feet. Is a leasehold, small sizes. But in Jelatek, this is, I would say, lesser in density. Okay, it's about 712 units. This is Astoria. 2 blocks still not completed. Selling today about 850 per square feet. Mix of small and big sizes layout. Okay, this is Astrum Jelatek, the highest number of unit we have in today. It's about 5,000. Targeting about Airbnb, managed by Maple Suites. Today is about 850 square feet. Come with small sizes as well. Looking for investment value. Okay, the suite in Kampung Perembang, I would say most of people not really know. This is actually a Soho the layout is more towards Soho type, selling 800 per square feet. Today have rooftop pool as well for this one. Okay, next one is Novo Reserve. Okay, this is a freehold in Ampang, Kile. Okay, selling today about 1,004 per square feet. This is by a Russian developer lah. They are selling, and also they come with dual key, mix of small and big sizes. They have rooftop pool and gym. So that's all from all. The post of habis.
Yeah,
Okay.
what happened to the poll?
No, it's still
Can
there.
still vote kan? Can still vote.
Yeah, you
Was
can
it?
still vote.
Tak nampak pun?
Yeah,
boleh ya?
Boleh.
I cannot see it. Okay lah. Let's put the results.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Ta-da! Can see, right?
Wah.
Was a lot of
I'm
people
gonna
buy
screenshot
Skyline.
this. Hold on.
Wah.
Let me press the skylight.
Cannot anymore.
Wow, interesting. Skyline at 36%, which got the highest vote from the viewers. Second would be Astrum Jelatek. The third will be Datum Jelatek at 16 and 14% respectively. Fourth will be Astoria at 12%. The Suites at 10%. And Novo Reserve is only 4%, which is the bottom. And Ashwood is about 7%. Right? So very interesting way of voting. And we've got about 70 votes. 56% of the people tonight participated. Cool. Right? So, Zairi, which one would you buy?
Oh, I start first lah.
Oh, yes.
I agree with the majority.
Okay.
Yeah, Skyline Embassy lah. Due to the size, I think we have a good size. The 1+1 is 500 plus square feet. They also have a dual key of lesser than 1,000 square feet. But the most important is that basically I'm afraid to buy in Jalan Ampang lah. So this is the Jalan Ampang paling dekat dengan KLCC.
No. Scenario is that you point a gun to your head, must buy something or someone will kill you.
Yeah, so this one lah, because it's
yeah.
closer to the Jalan Tun Razak, closer to the KLCC, closer to the link. I think the mall is doing quite well, closer to the Intermark. Also the Pavilion Embassy also have new offices. So yeah, close to offices and can't go wrong sangat lah by this. And the price per square foot is reasonably lower lah than the other macam Pavilion Embassy and all. So yeah, quite a fair price. I would choose this one over the other developments.
Okay. What about you, LB?
I also go with the same one, Scarlet Embassy.
Wow.
Looking at its investment sizes point of view, and also dual key concept, probably you can maximize as well for this one. And yeah, the surrounding actually make this looks good lah. Or comparing to other area like Newton or Jelatek area. Even though Jalan Ampang is like everyone is saying it's like oversupply, a lot of, but I think with this price point, the spec and also the sizes, the concept, I will still go for Skyline.
Okay. How about you, Sean?
I'm very reluctant to follow the crowd. And that's so boring, this life, right? But just now when you show average is 1,003, then 1,001, nothing much to talk. Then you have the favorite thing, Faizul like all the sky pool all the things, right? That one sure can make money. Then you have the convenience, you have job opportunities. It all makes sense. The only thing I'm fearful of, how did the previous developer fuck up?
Good question.
Right?
Yeah.
Means at this price currently, when you take over, there's actually more cost incurred. So previously, if the developer were to sell slightly cheaper, they can still make money. But why
Did they
Totong
not
Chang?
get a different
Ah.
or higher price?
Yeah, so like, is there something wrong? That's all. I just want to scare all the 25 people who voted, right? Like, is
Salah
it
already.
too good to be true?
Yeah, I
Mm.
was saying, is it too good for this Jalan Ampang side 1001?
Okay lah, but on the normal side, from this developer, when they launch the Pudu, when they launch the Kuchai, also a bit like throw price kind of phenomenon one. We all know that pattern lah, right? They maybe most probably very very cash rich lah. But I'm just thinking like how the previous one actually screw up and how this one they're going to turn over with higher cost and still make money at a lower price per square feet. How do you, like, where would I cut? Like, I'm the cost cutter in every developer firm. Like, I don't know how to cut.
Is it the deal?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Or maybe the KPI is just to break even. Maybe to build a brand. It's a
Price that
branding
you bought from
exercise.
the previous developer lah.
Maybe it's just a branding exercise. Yeah, so that would be my choice also lah.
So you're picking Skyline Do. Right. Okay. For me, you know, Skyline has got everything that I like, which is the rooftop pool. You got the dual key, location near jobs, and a fairly okay price point, right? For the west side of Jalan Ampang. So obviously, again, this is a scenario where someone points gun to my head. I buy something in Jalan Ampang or I die lah, right? So Skyline would be my pick lah, I guess, right? So you know, for obvious reasons, right? Like I said, layout good, facility good. The information that I've just gotten yesterday is that what will make it interesting for you here is that actually the build quality and the workmanship is expected to be better than Eja Bukit Bintang.
Sure, no. Hey, Aja Bukit Bintang is not bad, eh?
This is supposed to be one level better, right? So true or not, don't know. Is coming from a respected source so far, who have been friends with for the last 5 years, and he has never lied to me lah. And she knows the developer very, very well. Is a friendly party bar purchaser that basically does deals. And while she didn't do anything for the Jalan Ampang one, you know, entered the other one, and even she commented that the spec will be marginally better, right? So remains to be seen. To me, it's immaterial. I'll be happy if the spec and the quality is the same as per the one in Bukit Bintang. But this one again has got a rooftop pool in a location which is comparable to Pavilion, right? Without the brand name. So I think it's like I said lah. Unfortunately for me, Pavilion is an anomaly rather than the general rule, right? So it's the only one, 1,003, 1,004. The only one is 6 ringgit rental per square foot. But again, this is a point gun to head scenario. If a normal scenario, there's no way I will touch anything in Jalan Ampang. If you look at the number of transaction of less than 200 units versus the incoming supply of, well, I think last I counted is about 8,000 if you combine just these projects alone, right?
One
5,000.
project also 6,000 already.
Yeah, like one project was 6,000. This one like 1,002. A couple of hundred few there versus 200, less than 200 transaction in the last 2 years. I mean, per year less than 100 transaction. No? And median transaction about 8 to 900 ringgit per square foot. Right? So again, point gun to head, this is what I will buy. But since no one can point gun to my head, I'm not going to buy anything in Jalan Ampang. So again, I guess, but this is not a buying recommendation. We always do Battle Royale. There's no such thing as a buying recommendation. Jalan Ampang to me is a stock that is very high price, tapi no one buying. No velocity, no transaction. Got high asking price only. Right?
Question, I think for the audiences who pick Astrum, right? Why? Again, I'm still thinking like why. Therefore, there are so many. It was almost a second choice just now.
I think it's the cheapest you can buy. It's also the smallest. It makes sense.
Hmm.
Is it the
Excellent
LRT?
price point. And
And it's
also,
next to
there's no
LRT.
LRT. Yeah.
It's next to LRT and the mall, right? So it makes sense. You can't buy anything cheaper than Astro. And Vertica, despite having 3,000 over unit, also did very well. So basically, Vertica broke the anomaly of high density development, which normally very poor rental, very poor capital gain. Vertica broke all of it because it's got the nicest facilities in the whole area. So I think people are betting that Astrum is going to go do the same.
I thought so too. But I think in terms of architecture matching, M Vertica is unique by itself. It's an angle, then the facilities on one side, right? But this one, it's more of an RC residency layout.
Yeah.
So your facility is not going to be as amazing, in my
But
opinion.
similar to RC lah. Got no problem. They got no problem selling RC. What? They only have
Yeah,
problem
yeah.
renting later and selling later. Similar to RC lah. So people who buy probably have got no
other choice lah. I think for own stay, I think at that level, I understand lah. But for
Yeah.
investment, my question is, you buy Astrum for own stay, I totally respect. That's the only thing within your affordability in KL City Center. Oh, good for you. But if it's for investment, when money is not even a discussion, right? Here, let's not think that, oh, like it's not like we can go and buy pavilion just like that also. But we just imagine what's the best deal here. But why would you still pick Astrum? That's only my concern here. Like for all so many different projects, you still pick Astrum. It's not like I look at my wallet, okay, I can only buy Astrum. Different story, ma. This one is out of so many choices, you still pick Astrum. I'm just trying to understand that logic only.
I think the problem with our audience here is that our audience know how to count. Right? I think people who follow Battle Royale watch 3 hours, they appreciate the data that we put. They also know how to count. Right? And of course, historically speaking, if you are the poorest person in the area, you tend to not die lah. So I guess a lot of people's logic here is that for me to die buying Astrum, everything in Jalan Ampang and Jelatek have to die first lah. Right? So if you are owner of Astrum, right? And you got a friend staying in let's say for example Ditem Jelatek, your friend will be quite sweating lah. You know, paying quite significantly much higher price point. Not because the layout in Ditem Jelatek is just terrible. Right? Everything is just too big lah. Everything is just too so-called luxury. Right? 2 bedroom also is about 1,200. 1 bedroom also 700 square foot. Then you compare with Astrum, right? 1 bedroom is like berapa? Right? So it's like you know, it moves everything to become like a no-brainer lah. So and of course I also think that if I were the Astrum guy selling Astrum, I would just compare it to Ditem Jelatek. See?
Yes.
See? 1 bedroom 700,000. See? Our 1 bedroom berapa? 300,000. Right?
That's the
And we got
comparison, actually.
we got more facilities than Ditem Jelatek. Okay lah. So I think a lot of people who buy Astrum are either investors or first-time home buyer. Right? So very high density, but also very walkable to LRT and a mall. I can comprehend. Right? So for me, Astrum would be my second choice too. Right? Out of the whole lot as of today. But well, you know me lah. I don't like to buy regular price lah. I wait lah. Until we have unfair advantage price point. Then we masuk. Right? Okay. Very insightful. So I think we can move on to the summary, right? Before we go to Q&A. So you know now why we don't like Jalan Ampang. We don't like it simply because 90% of the property being sold in Jalan Ampang belt area, right? At the east, west, Yutan, Hile, right? All lost money, right? So today they are selling at below their net price, most of them, and it's negative cash flow, right? If it's not below the net price, it's still negative cash flow. So basically, I don't know of anyone who has actually made money buying from Jalan Ampang unless you bought at auction, maybe half price. Maybe you can get positive cash flow lah. Maybe, right? Number two here is that the most worrying thing for me when it comes to Jalan Ampang, on top of the high price, not very high rental, is the fact that there's very low number of transactions, right? Jalan Ampang in total in the last 2 years has got less than 200 transactions, which is basically half of what Bukit Bintang and KLCC area level of transaction. And obviously, if you compare to, let's say, for example, places like Monkera, then you're looking at like what? Less than 25% of the number of transactions in Monkera. Right? So long story short, for Jalan Ampang, all the 4 areas at above 800 ringgit per square foot, it is very illiquid. So a very important point, guys. Above 800 ringgit per square foot is very illiquid. Very little number of transactions that happen. Right? 1, 2, to me, is terrible. One whole development, 2 transactions is terrible. Right? So, the third summary when it comes to Jalan Ampang is that big size units are holding well from a rental point of view and also sub-sale point of view. I suspect largely due to old money. So you got your bungalow owners, semi owners, landed property owners in Yutan and Ampang Hile, buying these properties either for investment or for own stay. Okay. Number 4, from a rental strategy point of view, co-living don't do very well here. Trust me, as the operator of co-living here, is not doing well, right? Right. Airbnb is also not doing well here. Right. So long story short, the only rental that you can basically count on is basically long-term rental. So again, Jalan Ampang has got a disadvantage versus your KLCC, Bukit Bintang, right? Whereby co-living is not great here. Numbers don't make sense. Airbnb also does not make sense. Occupancy rate average is how much, LB, for Airbnb?
Now it's about 50 on current occupancy, but their
Right.
listing is actually very less.
So listing less than 200, right? Because it's neither here nor there, right? So why don't you pay a little bit more, go stay in KLCC, 50% more, which is less than 100 ringgit per night anyway, right? So very little number of transactions from Airbnb point of view, and for whatever which is there, occupancy rate on average also is not great, it's below 60%. Okay. Then the other worrying thing for me is that the new supply in this area, if you include Jelatek, is a lot. Even if you exclude Jelatek, purely Jalan Ampang alone, you are still looking at about 3,000 new supply lah, basically, right, in total, right? Versus 200 transactions a year. Sorry, less than 100 transactions per year. Not looking very good, guys. Okay, not looking very good. Yeah. Long story short, from a supply point of view, to give you some context, Mont Kiara has got less than 2,000 of new supply upcoming, yeah, from new projects. All right, less than 2,000 of upcoming new supply with close to 1,000 transaction over 2 years. So about 500 per year lah. All right, very different from a number point of view. Okay, so the other point here is that if you are looking to buy small units, the yields is not greater compared to KLCC, Bukit Bintang, TRX. So if you are looking to buy small unit, KLCC, Bukit Bintang, TRX, macam better from a yield point of view. Right? Better rate per night, better occupancy rate, right? Better long-term rental too. Right? So Jalan Ampang not so cheap. Majority of it is above 1,000 per square foot for small units, right? And you got a 50%, 60% occupancy rate and quite low, cheap daily rental per night. And if you are looking for the large size unit, right, you still lose out to places like Mont Kiara. So from a tier 1 point of view, right, there are better options. Small unit, you can go to proper KLCC, Bukit Bintang, TRX, place slightly higher, right? And for the large units, you'll be better off just buying in Bangsar or Mont Kiara. Oh, should I say this? or major hint. Apparently, Bangsa is going to launch, a township, 1,200 ringgit per square foot for large size units.
By
Uh,
Setia one? Is it by Setia? That one?
cannot say developer name lah. But there's
Oh,
only one
shit.
township developer lah.
Oh shit. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. So no, got two Setia, got SP Setia and Setia one, so we don't know which one, right?
Oh, betul juga, betul.
Right. So
Oh.
those who know, right? They're looking at only about 1,002. So at 1,002 somehow, I will bet on Bangsa dan Jalan Ampang lah. No brainer.
Confirm ah.
Yeah, confirm lah, right? So again, when you do a tier 1 versus tier 1 comparison, again, Jalan Ampang very hard lah, neither here nor there, right? So booster wise, again, very limited. Everyone's still using Glen Eagles to sell small units in Jalan Ampang, right? So which is why after today's presentation, surprise, we still don't like Jalan Ampang, right? So that would be the summary lah. Nah, having said that, right? If you want to make money in Jalan Ampang, if you can get 900 ringgit per square foot in your west side, Yutan or Ampang Hile, for new primary market property, 1 to 2 bedroom, I think you'll be able to go make money, right? But it has to be 900 ringgit per square foot lah, and below, in order for you to make money, right? So the last part, which is the east side, the Bremban side, maximum 800 ringgit per square foot, right? If you want to make money lah in this area, right? From a booster point of view, you got MRT3 coming up that will hopefully help property along east side, the Kampung Bremban area lah. So all your old property like Element, RT, right? MCT, Astoria, will be beneficiary for MRT3 stations, right? And I think if a developer were to build a landed townhouse in the west side, Yutan or Ampang Hile, I think it will be a hit. Right? It will be a hit. Right? Simply because I think there's the gated and guarded with facility landed is quite undersupply in this area. And given the fact there's a lot of old money buying this 3,000, 4,000 square foot apartments, right? I think a product like this, especially that is elderly friendly, I think will be a hit. If someone were to go and build one. Okay, so these are opportunities if you can get it at this price point. So obviously I already hear people cursing, "Undet lah this guy, where can get at this price point?" Right? And stop talking, things like like buying Hermes at a 50% discount. All I can say, just because you cannot get it doesn't mean that no one is able to go and get it. Okay, so like I said, Faizul and Far Capital, very simple. There's no such area that we don't like. There's only price point that we don't like. Okay, so if you look at our track record in this area, we have actually entered, right, 2 years ago, east side at 650 per square foot and below, by the way. So for those who say, "No lah, where can get below 800? We've done it. In fact, we're the only party who has done it. And today, we do have a deal also in east side at about 850 ringgit per square foot. Okay. So again, when you compare tier 1 versus tier 1, Jalan Ampang, in my opinion, is in direct competition with places like Bukit Bintang, TRX, KLCC. So again, while everyone, unanimously basically say 1,001 per square foot Skyline looks like the best bet lah of all of the property here. But the reality here is that we bought 1,200 per square foot in Bukit Bintang just last year. All right, walkable to TRX and Bukit Bintang. And today we are getting rental close to 10 ringgit per square foot. We are getting rental yield of above 8%. Right? 750,000 property rented at 6,500, guys. That's close to 10%. So that's the highest recorded as of today. And we're also buying today KLCC proper at 1,500 ringgit per square foot lah. So while people are buying today, this area about 1,003, 1,004, you know, we'd rather buy the original, the proper, the OG at 1,005. Right? So yeah, so that's what we have bought, currently buying, right, as a group. And which is why we have our recommended price point again. For the 3 parts of the more premium part of Jalan Ampang, 900 ringgit per square foot and below. For the Kampung Beremban side, it's 800 ringgit per square foot and below. You'll be wondering why the gap is not too big. It is because MRT3 is coming, right? So it will help quite a fair bit lah, especially property along the east side of Jalan Ampang, right? So before we go to Q&A, if you're keen, right, to participate, you know, in exceptional deals like what we have bought in the past in either Jalan Ampang, Bukit Bintang, TRX, KLCC, or Mont Kiara, right? Consider joining our group, right? Because today we are buying below 800 ringgit per square foot in this area. We are looking to buy 650 ringgit per square foot and below in the Jelatek area. So cannot say which development. So, but we are looking, right? We've made an offer. Let's see whether it's accepted or not, right? We bought Bukit Bintang TRX at 1,200 ringgit per square foot, buying KLCC at 1,005, which is very comparable to what Jalan Ampang is selling as of today, right? We are buying Duta Mas, which is the cheapest in tier 1 at 600 ringgit per square foot. And our next launch will be a 240,000 property next to LRT with a rooftop pool. So better than Astrum. Don't have 5,000 units. Only 500 saja. 500 saja. Right? So, right? If you are interested to participate in this like this, right? Join our WhatsApp channel, right? So that you get details, right? Whenever that we have new deals coming up, right? That you can participate in. Okay? So, with that, I think we can move to the next slide where we show the the QR code, and then after that we can move to Q&A. Oh, by the way, we've got a property tour coming up. So if you are keen to join, scan the QR code. You want to learn how we do things, what we are buying. Again, join our property tour. This one, the property tour is together with clients.
Yeah, never joined before. Maybe I want to join.
Oh, you should.
Come.
Yeah, but join. Well, I do my own.
So
One more
38 will be the KL tier 1 one. So we're gonna go Maluri, TRX, Bukit Bintang, Jalan Ampang, KLCC, KL Central, all the way to the Tamas. So a couple of areas that will be covered lah. I guess we can move to Q&A. Christina?
All right. So now the first question, since we're talking about KL, right? There's been a lot of discussion on X and Loyat forum about whether the recent sinkhole issue could lead to a decline in property values in KL. What is your thoughts on this?
I asked my engineering friends. There are two versions of it. First, when the lady went in, they should have sealed the sites to prevent it from collapsing further. So that is one way of looking at it. That's why the continuous sinkhole is happening. Will it go to another street? Not really, after they notice this problem. The second thing I see is like a flood issue. Something like Taman Sri Muda, like last time my house. The first time flood, the property price went up again. Then the second time flood, which is 2 years ago, now property price starts rising again. Unless it's like the northern side of Malaysia that keeps flooding, then maybe the property price will be low forever. So that's my take. I think it's like a seasonal thing. So I don't know whether will it happen again within the next 6 months. Looking at the rain. Yeah, that's my take on it. I don't think it will be a long-term effect thing. And that's this thing about Malaysia, like got landslide, but suddenly we know how to fix it. Got flooding, we know how to fix it. So it's not going to be a forever kind of issue that will affect property price forever lah. That's my take.
So you know, it has to go back to the concept whereby you gotta ask the right question to the right person to get the right answer. You ask the right question to the wrong person, you still get the wrong answer, right? So you see what Sean did? The moment this happened, right? He did not go and ask a celebrity, what do you think about this sinkhole and the property values, right? He go and ask an engineer, right? So you ask any engineer worth their salt, right? It's a localized issue, right? It's a localized issue, right? It's very unlikely, to cause property values to drop lah, especially if the property is 1, 3, 5 kilometers away. Okay, but I like the fact that you have commentators and spectators who know very little about engineering commenting about this. And especially I love when they make the comment, oh, because of this city center property price will drop. I love it. Because for me, there's no point correcting dumb people, right? You agree to it, and then you go to the developer, see, everyone agree, property value will drop. I think you should sell the property to Fakat at 50% discount before it drops next year. So I'm a capitalist and opportunist, right? Whatever, someone dumb come and tell me, because last year, there are people who are commenting, hey, Malaysia, gonna go property recession. We're gonna have a recession. Property value sure drop next year. Right? This year, same experts suddenly say 2024, great year to buy property after looking at the record number of transactions. So, for me, like I said, you want to learn something, please learn from, get the right advice from the right person. Ask the right question to the right person. Right? So for me, I was making a joke during Cloud webinar, right? When there's holes, Far Capital is going to be there. We love holes, right? We are going to become hole hunters. So basically, if I see there's a sinkhole there and there's a developer has got unsold inventory, I'll be knocking on their door, trying to help them, trying to help them. Because there's no worse time for them to go and sell a property.
Masjid India. I'm thinking.
Unfortunately, tak ada lah bro. Tak ada new property di sana.
All
Aduh, tapi itulah, kalau ramai percaya sinkhole ni all KL City Center property akan mendap and tidak ada demand. So kita kena kipaskan benda tu. So for me, like I said lah, last time I'll go and defend on Facebook. Today I just quietly laugh and call my BD guys. Okay, guys, looks like there's a lot of idiots who believe that this thing is gonna cause property value to drop. Let's go identify which property nearby that we can go and hunt. So rather than correct, we just you know what? I think you're gonna be right. Wow, terrible city center property.
Yeah, but I think sinkhole people talk so much, right? But nobody talks about the flood.
Yeah. So, but you see, there's a funny side to this, which is this discussion, and there's a bit more serious side to this, right? So here's the best part, right? The truth is what many people believe is the truth, even though it's wrong.
Yeah. Correct.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right? So now from an engineering standpoint, it becomes very clear it's a localized issue, right? It's not going to affect property 30, 40, 50 meters away, right? Very unlikely, right? And once you know about the problem, you can do a lot of things to fix it. It'd be dumb to just see it, it's going to erode all the way to 30 meters. Let's not do anything. Well, Malaysia is not that bad, guys, right? We're not that bad now, okay? But again, the truth for majority will actually become the truth for the authority. Okay? What will come as a result of the public believing that this thing is dangerous will actually be tighter regulation for developers to develop in city center. especially old areas. That would then translate to higher, far more expensive compliance and construction costs,
Yep.
right? So, city center property will be inexplicably more expensive. Because immediately after the public, you know,
Mogok.
hurrah about this whole thing, immediately they made a statement. They are freezing all building approval application from property developer in city center. KL kena teruk. It's damn fucked up lah if you're a property developer looking to get a PDL out, now suddenly because of this, which is not even in your area, it affects you. So from a supply point of view, oh, I think city center will have a problem. And if they're looking at this cost last year, they gotta up the cost already, because I can tell you authority will ask ridiculous things for the developer to go and bill as part of their compliance costs.
Wow, the ISF will explode.
Yeah. So
For those who don't know what ISF is, it's a fee where developers are required to pay to fix the consequences of the development. For example, if a new building is up, you need wider roads, you need wider drains, you need wider whatever. ISF is a fund imposed by the local authorities to the developer.
correct. So it's not for the development. It's to support the area that is impacted by the development.
Yeah, you're right.
Right? So, well, like I said, for the developers who have city center property now, trying to get a PDL, good luck, guys. Right? You're going to have suddenly a lot of additional requirement, which translates to one thing, higher cost.
Now we need piling for drains.
Not just for your building, by the way.
Mm.
Your building, you can still tahan, right? You can accept, because it is, after all, your building, you're selling it. Is the compliance cost for the area that is impacted by your development. You know what I mean? Well, suddenly, you can widen the parade, you have to widen this, you have to do this for this particular area. So, wait and see. Right? It's not funny. Again, I maintain my view that the best thing for you to buy a property that is launched pre-COVID at pre-COVID price point that is still selling today. That to me is the biggest opportunity you can buy in KL. Number one, you get higher spec at pre-COVID construction cost, which is much lower compared to today. And you now know this sinkhole is not a big issue, but now it affects the whole KL development. Because everyone thinks it is super important. So like I said, the public truth becomes the authority's truth. Unfortunately, they have to be seen as, doing something. Right? So, jokes aside,
It's so interesting, 4 years later, okay, I just imagine 4 years later, all of us make money. Ha 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 ha. Hey, you know what's the best interesting thing was a single. Straight away, suddenly we all made extra 15% because of the single.
Let's all do a shirt. We love holes.
Yo, my God, don't. You wear, I don't wear. You don't.
Right? I made money from holes.
Okay, next question.
Bahaya. Hi panelists, recently ada seorang artis famous ni cakap beli rumah sekarang tak berbaloi, 500,000 juta dapat saiz kasut je. Saya tengok ramai orang property lain dah triggered. You guys tak triggered ke?
Siapa dia, Kis? Siapa dia?
Saya tak tahu.
Sebut je lah nama, Kis.
Dia tak tulis.
Nanti mengelakkan
saya tak
fitnah.
tahu.
Yeah, I think I know the celebrity, but again, you know, goes back to the first question, right? How much do you think does a celebrity know about property market? Very little, right? And I know the celebrity in question. I mean, like, look, and is a female celebrity who I think announced wanting to go divorce, then tak jadi divorce. And then recently when I got attacked, the whole Malaysia attacked I because you know I'm apparently a misogynistic pig, right? And apa tu? She made the comment that apa tu? Ni lah laki macam ni lah, main video game, curi duit bini and apa semua tu. I was like, bila pula aku main video game, aku TV pun tak buka kat rumah sel, right? And curi duit bini, the hell? Right? So clearly not talking about me lah. I think she's basically talking about the husband, right? So again, if I want to look for advice of how to pick the wrong husband, I'll go to her.
You. Oh, just put, okay, this is not Sean here in this video.
Right? So I'm just going to be direct, like, guys. You ask right question to a stupid person, you're still going to have the wrong answer, right? What does a celebrity know anything about property market? Right? And again, just because people have got a significant number of following, just because they have 2 million following, it doesn't mean anything too. You know, Sean is one of the smartest guy around when it comes to property. He's following only 100,000. Only recently break 100,000. So sad.
So
Yeah,
sad.
if you think the higher the number of the follower reflects the intelligence, is no lah, guys. Come on lah.
Depends on segment lah.
Yeah. And again, I you know, then you got all these Facebook, you know, people with a lot of following and apa semua tu suddenly comment, latching, agreeing. So again, you know, blind leading the blind. So I find it to be quite perplexing, right? That people literally take celebrity as a reference point. The fact that the fella is still renting today, they own property, you know. Most 40, anak ada 2, renting today, despite making that kind of money, tells you how much they know about investment and property, you know. So guys, ask the right question to the right person. Then you get the proper answer, right? Want to ask about sinkhole? Ask an engineer, all right? Don't ask people with high number of Facebook followers or Instagram followers, right? So, you know, guys, again lah, ask the right question to the right person.
I think for the audiences who are here, I think these are the people who are having the same fever like us, trying to escalate ourselves, right? Try for better knowledge. Then sometimes when you think about the other side of the story, all wanting to goreng things just to be popular, then that's like what Faizul said, let's keep it. It's great entertainment to me. It's great entertainment. A lot of people also tag me there, say, hey Sean, you should correct her. Like, for what? I got not enough stock to buy already. I need to like beg Faizul to sell me things right now. So if everybody is going to buy, then what are we going to get? No. And the thing is, we also got to accept one very hard truth. The golden rule of 2080. 20% of the world's population is going to own 80% of world's wealth. The same thing happens in Malaysia as well. So 20% of Malaysian is going to own 80% of the population, of the wealth in Malaysia. Which side you want to pick? And across generation is only going to get worse. So you can see, so now we kind of need the numbers to stack on the other side. If you want to be the 20% that owns the 80%, we need people to stack on the other side so we can go up to 20%.
Yeah. I mean, like, you know, it's just, like I said, it's just perplexing how many people don't use data or facts when they comment on anything. And, you know, it's all about sentiment. It's so easy to get people to go get riled up these days.
And it's just business. For social media, it's business. Media-wise, it's business. It's not to give you information or facts, it's to trigger you.
True.
Social media is meant to trigger you.
Very fair.
So if you look at it for no feeling, right, it's failed social media.
So the one that's supporting is the one that's renting or losing money in property.
Not really also,
Sama,
it's just
I
that
renting.
yeah, it's just to yeah lah, who makes the most money then? Or Facebook no, Instagram no, X
Yeah.
no, yeah, the social media platform makes money.
So I mean, there's a great saying when it comes to wealth, right? Wealth is often transferred from the people who are not aware to the people who know, right? So that's how normally wealth is being transferred. The smarter guy will always make more money than the dumb guy. That's it. It's a simple fact of life. It has been true in the year of 1800s. Sorry, in the 1800s, 1900s, year 2000, it will still be true for the next 50, 100, 500 years.
Christina, stop asking such question, can
Hey, this is selected email. I have to do my
It's like this
my
kind of
job.
questions.
No,
No,
I have
you
to
see,
do my
you see,
job.
when Sean look at this question, got people ask such question, right? Really, I got people ask such question. The reality is that God, a lot,
Lot, yeah.
Yeah.
right? So I think it's just good lah to just remind everyone. You know, you want to become a millionaire, go learn from a millionaire. Don't learn from your broke friends, right? You want to be married, talk to your married friends. Don't talk to your single friends, right?
Yeah.
You want to get fit, speak to someone who has got their fitness together, right? It's just common sense. You ask people who renting as of today and their outlook on property tak berbaloi, never mind lah. You know, we buy shoe boxes. Clients are very happy, making money. You know, Sean shoe boxes in Mongkiara berapa? Our shoe box in Bukit Bintang dah berapa dah? Almost 6,500, almost 10 ringgit per square foot. Shoe box.
We need tenants. We will always need tenants, right? Let's
Yeah.
embrace.
So let them be happy. Let them, you know, stay in their bubble. Okay.
Right?
Let's take this.
All right. Next one. What caused the price of the property to go down after buying with a higher price?
Simple, supply and demand. Okay. So there's two things, right? That basically determine supply and demand, right? So for investment property, it's always going to be about the rental. Because investment is, they're looking at cash flow, right? So if you buy at 1,000 per square foot, and today you are renting, let's say, for example, at less than 5 ringgit per square foot, you confirm lose money one. You confirm negative cash flow. Okay? So there's a lot of property in Jalan Ampang was sold 1,000 per square foot or 800 ringgit per square foot. And when you look at the average rental, right, it's 3 ringgit, 2 ringgit 50 cent, 350 per square foot. So when you lose money, people will then say, hey, this property is not worth 900 ringgit per square foot. This property should be worth only 650 per square foot. Because that's what the rental yield can support. Right? So when you buy investment grade property, the rental must match. Okay? The purchase price in order for it to sustain or move even higher. Okay? So I can give you a very basic general rule. Okay? For every 500 ringgit positive cash flow you make on a long-term rental, you make 100,000 capital gain. That's for investment property. A simple rule. Every 500 ringgit positive cash flow on a long-term rental that you make 100,000 capital gain. Because why? 100,000 loan, how much is the monthly installment? 400 plus. So you can sell the property at 100,000 higher if you are today getting a property with a rental of above 500 ringgit positive cash flow per month. Because is there people out there who will buy a property that can get break even today from you? Plenty. Because most property cannot even get break even. Okay. So the beautiful thing about what we do at FACAP, and in a way it's also a curse, is that we are able to determine, is this property going to be positive cash flow or negative cash flow before we buy? Because we have all the data points, right? Which is why we recommend Jalan Ampang below 900 ringgit per square foot. Main one, right? Beremban side, 800 ringgit per square foot and below. We only enter at 650 anyway. Right? Because at those price point, you have a higher probability of making money versus if you overpay. Right? So long story short, if your property value drop after VP, it just simply means the income that the property is able to go and generate does not match the property's asking price. Right? If you look at it from a stock point of view, we call this PE ratio. Price over earnings ratio, right? You can only ask so much for the valuation of the business, and the income must be able to go and support that valuation. Macam property juga. Itu saja. Right? Unless you buy property whereby it is completely emotionally driven, whereby people don't use math, I don't care, I must have it, and all of that, then you can command a premium. So today, when the property market is still at the beginning of the bull run, people still know how to count. Negative cash flow, I don't buy. But you wait 3 years from now, whereby we are at the middle or the peak of the property bull run, everyone just buy negative cash flow property simply because my friend bought a property 3 years ago, made 200,000. Story. It's too common. Everyone makes money. So I'm just going to buy property because I have got this belief. Again, the belief of the majority becomes the truth. Right? If everyone makes money to the point, you go to Pasar Malam also, people talk about property market. You masuk Grab also, people say property is good. That will be the time to exit. Okay? Be greedy when others are fearful, and be fearful when others are greedy.
But just to add on, that is the investment side of things where we look at cash flow. But what I noticed also to add on here, the emotional side also includes own stay properties, which
Yep.
which that includes all the landed homes lah.
Yep.
Like a lot of people think that we only look at cash flow while we look at apartments and higher rises because it's a cash flow game. If you can hold, you got a lot of money, then you go for the landed game, it's actually faster. Because the only way to get into Desa Park City now is to buy a sub-sale house. There's no more new properties. That's how the property price go up. Yeah, so just now as mentioned in the in the research also, all the landed homes are still retaining, even going up in value because there are no more stocks. Yeah, then the emotional factor kicks in better. Oh, my auntie stay next door, my mom stay next door. That's why must die buy this location. So when property also goes up like that, lah. But back to the investment cash flow, cashback game, it was a popular thing when a lot of people give cashback with the intentional pleading. Means they give 30% discount, 40%, don't know how many percent lah. Then they already speculated 1,000 negative cash flow per month, and you need to hold it for 5 years. 5 years later, hoping for the next bull run to happen. That was a very popular strategy back then. So it was estimated that, well, a lot of people also don't know cashback exists in this market. Man. They look at SPA 1,000, then when they buy 800, wow, they thought they make money. Actually, cashback was like half. So there's this information gap in the market also. So not necessarily what you see in the SPA is entirely true. So when you say like how property prices drop, right? Did it really drop? The very unfortunate truth about Malaysian property is price is very not transparent. Nobody will actually know how much you buy. So before you determine whether the price drop or not lah. Yeah.
All right.
Next question. Yeah.
So we got 2 more. question selected by the panelists. This one is, if like RSKU, you think will benefit from the bull run?
Bull run
RSK is
everything up, but RSKU cannot sell mah. So you benefit tapi you cannot do anything.
Rumah Sengoku is 5 years cannot sell.
Think so.
5 or 10.
10, I think 10.
Because I
Rumah
always messed up with Rumah Whip.
Rumah Whip I think is 10. Rumah Sangoku macam 5.
After
Yeah,
the
so
SPA already 1 year plus balance.
so
Yeah.
the funniest thing is this, right? If cannot sell, can auction kan?
Yeah.
So after auction, does the
Anyone
rule
can
still
buy.
stays?
No. Anyone can buy.
Yeah.
Any price point too.
That's when you see the Rumah Whip auction higher than the
Yeah, I was just gonna go there. Like Rumah Whip now. So okay, I think the main question, if you were to buy Rumah Sengoku, I think the intention is, will I benefit from the bull run? I think the exact answer is no, because they're still within the restriction, unless your bull run is like 20 years
Yeah.
which doesn't happen in 3 years time you jackpot already.
Yeah.
So
Maximum bull run typically historically 5 years. That's the max.
max is 5 years. Wow. Okay. Then I would suggest, if you are aiming for a Rumah RSKU like 280,000, I would suggest to hold your breath a little bit more, so you can buy an open market unit at that price, because they are also open market unit at that price. But don't know whether you market member or not lah. So that's the strategy. When you buy affordable housing products, technically the government need not to promise you or guarantee you profits also. That's not the whole point of the product anyway. So if you were to expect profits by buying RSKU, I think in principle it's already a mistake, in my opinion.
Yeah. So the view for us is that if you buy anything which is affordable or subsidized housing, it should meant only for own stay purpose, and it shouldn't be treated like an investment. Right? You do it for own stay, no problem. You just have to accept the fact that when you buy cheap, you also have to sell cheaper versus the public price point who did not get the same discount.
Oh, but I think he clarified it's for own stay. I'm not sure should hold on or not, or to sell out. I think you hold on, you still make money in terms of subsidized housing. Because if you were to get anything else within that location of convenience to you, it would have cost way more already, either in rental or in installment.
But here's the thing, right? For what is okay, so this is an interesting discussion, right? Because for Rumah Selangorku, what we discovered, the premium between Rumah Selangorku and open unit in many of the projects I'm advising the developer to go and do, right? Whereby the Rumah Selangorku is within the project itself. Right? So from a price per square foot point of view,
it's very close.
It's only 10%.
Yeah.
It's not a lot. But you got multiple restrictions with a possibility of even further future restrictions. I think for that 10 to 20% cheaper, I can say it's worth it. Right? Unless, for example, you're talking about, let's say, rumah PPA in Bukit Jalil, 280,000 for 1,200 square foot.
Wow.
The open unit is 800,000. Go for it, you know what I mean? Very obvious. But when it comes to Rumah Selangorku, it's not an advantage if you were to ask me. Rumah Whip is clear. Rumah Whip, there's just no way you can buy, because it's very clear, right? 800 minimum square foot, maximum price point of 300,000. You just can't build normal unit at that kind of price point. Rumah Selangorku, however, you can actually build a 550 square foot. label it as 2 bedroom, and then sell it at a maximum of 260,000. So if it work backward, it's actually very close to 500 ringgit per square foot. So Rumah Selangorku, of all the affordable housing, in my opinion, is the worst to buy. If you are
I think the
looking
spec
for money
wise
lah,
compared to Rumah Wip also is lower, right? Spec
it's
wise.
lower. It's for sure lower, right? It's for
But
sure lower.
I spoke to a few buyers lah. So technically, it's meant for those. Okay, I think because we have the mindset of abundance already. So let's dial down a little bit, right? Where extra 800 a month will kill you. Then too bad lah, right? I think that
Yeah.
that was meant to be lah. So if you think about 260 where the open market is 320, then go 320 lah. Why go for the 260 one? But that is the max they can go already. So I think in that perspective, it's again it ties to the original intent lah. But if you are with the intent of trying to save money, be a capitalist or whatsoever, like if this happens in Rumah Week in KL, 280 versus 820, of course get the 280 one lah. If you can ask buy more 280 one lah. So but the original intent is still not like that, mah. But the housing ministry also in the future will impose this Malaysia One housing fund, meaning any profits or capital appreciation that you get from all this affordable housing will be deposited into this fund. Which I also like the idea lah. I really like the idea lah.
Yeah.
You see, I've always lobbied for the idea whereby all form of affordable housing, there must be a cap in terms of how much money they can make. Because if the open unit is selling for 600,000, then to me, affordable housing must be selling at 400,000. Then as a result of that, you will perpetually have a supply of affordable housing without
Forever.
building even a single unit any year.
Mm.
Right? That to me is a far better, more sustainable model than what even Singapore HDB is doing. Right? Eventually, someone will pick it up and do it because it makes sense. It saved the government a couple of billion a year, money we do not have anyhow.
Yep.
Right? So again, when you buy all these RSKU or Rumah Wip or PPA, again, bear in mind, you're not supposed to make money out of it. You're not supposed to make significant profit out of it. You can make a little bit of money. It's
Beat
fine.
inflation a bit lah, okay lah.
Yeah. But don't expect to make just because you abuse, you could have bought a 400,000 property, but you abuse because you thought you were smart, go buy a 260 property. You are not supposed to make more money than the people who pay honestly an open price point. Right? You buy something subsidized, you must also sell it at a subsidized price. There's no such thing as an open market price. That's my point of view.
Oh, question. Project A without affordable home. Project B with affordable homes. Meaning it's a mix lah. Does A necessarily perform better than B? I don't have the data yet lah, so I cannot answer. So I thought you guys got enough.
With current policy, probably, yeah. Like Faizul mentioned just now, you cannot really sell it to open at the open price.
No, we don't know yet, mah. Because now technically all projects must have 30% affordable housing.
Because there's no policy mentioning that you have to sell it to a first home buyer or not.
Hey, why not? God, ma.
No, I
All
mean from
affordable
the
house
sub-sale.
only can sell to.
Yeah, once
Okay.
you finish the restriction period, you can only sell it to certain.
Oh, yeah, that's 10 years later lah. But
Yeah,
now,
if
like
you-
for within 10 years, lah.
If you can sell it to public, so they will sell it at the open price.
No,
So
again.
there's no conclusive data as of today because the concept of affordable housing is still relatively quite new. We got no such project whereby you can say after 10 years, this is the result. So in 5 years from now, you're going to have more data. As of today, we have bought a property whereby there's an affordable housing next door.
Mm.
Buyers actually make money, right? But it doesn't mean that because you have affordable housing, you're gonna make money simply because it's also location driven, facility driven. Because the property that we bought is quite nearby Bukit Jalil. It was only 420,000 for open unit, 300,000 obviously for rumah whip lah,
Mm.
right? So the open unit today is selling for about 550. Cost nearby LRT,
Mm.
right? And all that. But at the same time, you got inventories, let's say, for example, in Sentul, you know, the new part of Sentul, right? Your M series lah in Sentul, and you got the United Point and all that. So I don't think any of these property are making money,
Okay.
right? Because from a Sentul point of view, 500 plus ringgit per square foot doesn't make sense, no LRT lah. So in a way, there's no conclusive data that basically suggests that either or. It's still very much, well,
Price.
are you buying the right price property, right size property at the right location? So it's still going back to the same fundamental question.
Okay.
Like if there's
Okay.
rumah whip in Mont Kiara, you see the demand, even though right, even though it's haven't finished the restriction, you go into Lelong, the demand is really great. You see the price
Yeah.
goes up. So
So then if you go a little bit deeper, right? It's standalone rumah whip, or is it open market and a separate tower for rumah whip, or it's a mixed kind of concept where you have the rumah whip built within the floor layout itself? So that's a deeper conversation that I think we don't have data yet, but that's something that I'm obsessed about right now.
yeah, I
So
understand
if
your
I'm-
dilemma.
You ask me, I can give you the answer. I think lah. I haven't done the research. The one with the blended in will do far better than just rumah whip.
the one that is blended together will do better.
Than just a standalone rumah whip.
Even for the rumah whip unit.
Oh, your rumah whip will come with inferior spec, inferior facilities. While the one blended got the exact same facility as a 700, 800 ringgit per square foot condominium. So you
Got
confirm
it.
do better one. Confirm do better.
Got it. But this is we talk about, we measure the reference point is the affordable housing, not the open housing one.
It's the affordable housing side lah. But it's
Okay.
blended, right, within the open housing. So people don't even know.
Okay.
Like
Got
Pixel
it.
lah, Zairi. Their rumah whip is within Pixel itself. People don't even know it's a rumah whip inside.
Yeah, so those yang buy the rumah whip inside the
Bonus lah.
open one will make money a lot.
Yeah. And technically, it's not even open to the public.
Next question.
Okay. The next one. Hey, Far. Are you genuinely doing this battle royale to educate us or to promote your purchase? Ramai soalan emosi hari ni.
Yes, soalan tu.
Not my question, okay? FYI.
So to answer your question, right? To answer your question, we talk about the data, we talk about it openly, and we talk about the facts, right? So every time we made a suggestion, buy at this price point, if we don't showcase that we are able to go and buy it, you guys will think we are jack shit bullshit lah. Because no one can get it at this price point. Because just look at the project Jalan Ampang today. No one is buying below 800 ringgit per square foot. No one is able. Buying from developer direct lah. Only us. So I'm here to tell you that when we made a recommended, your RRP, right? It's not for fun. It's not suka-suka. Right? Now, you might not like me for whatever reason, that's why you're a bit hostile. But whether you like me or not, you just cannot deny I still buy the cheapest. And I'm here to tell you we are able to go and do it. So you should work harder to go and buy the lower price point, because at the end of the day, you want to buy 1,200, so be it lah, bro. I'm not going to lose any sleep. I'll just buy 800. Right? My clients will laugh at you. Right? So again, Wealth is transferred from people who know, has got an unfair advantage, right? From the people who don't. Simple. Right? You think Sean buy the watches at the same price point as you?
Alamak, why you bring me inside? I just want to clarify, I am only a client. I have nothing to do with that.
Right? So it's simple as that. Whatever unfair advantage you can get, you get. Right? He builds his relationship. That's why he can buy, Rolex at retail price, that even I cannot get. Right? So at the end of the day, it's real. Just because you can't get it doesn't mean that other people cannot do it. That's it. And we work very hard in the last 10 years to get this level of unfair advantage. So again, you don't like, no problem. But the data is the data right? Zairi doesn't give a shit whether you buy at 1,002 or you buy 800 because Zairi don't make anything.
Yeah, I
Right?
get
When you buy 800,
data.
you save, you make money. Right? We don't get anything from doing this. Right? So yeah, I hope you are very clear. Okay, next question.
Whew. Okay. Very tense today. Okay, last question.
I thought today chill je. Okay,
That's why.
Jalan Ampang, Jelatek,
I think the
chill.
background piece letak ni lah, merah lah.
Itulah.
Mengundang.
Next time I'll go with pink. I'll let my graphic
Ah.
team know. Pink.
Ah.
Next is pink. Whichever location, I'll put it pink. All right. The next one, this is gonna be the last one. What is your advice if recession suddenly happen for the property investor? Will having cash be an advantage? Sorry, this goes contrary to your bull run thesis.
Simple. Whether you agree or disagree with me on the buran or not, don't you think it's a smarter idea to buy cheap than to buy expensive? Right? If you buy cheap, you laugh during recession. You buy expensive, you die. That's it. Right? Buran, no buran. Buran is a bonus. Right? Buran is a reward for your patience. Right? Buran is a reward for you being strategic. Because unlike those idiots who are renting, because they think renting values and rental will stay low forever, right? You are strategic enough to go own something. And historically speaking, every 20 years, you're going to have one buran. And that buran property double, triple in value over that 5-10 years. Right? That's historical. Right? So buran is a bonus. It's not a fact. If it happens, great. But again, what is our idea today? You buy at a price point which is safe, which is why we give you 7 criteria for free. Buy at median and below, you're going to be quite okay. Right? We bought in Jalan Ampang during COVID. It was a recession. We bought at 650 and below. Right? Out of recession, we did quite all right as of today. So, buran, recession, you don't get hurt when you own the cheapest property in the area. Right? And I always tell people, if you own the cheapest inventory in the area, recession becomes your friend. Because the demand towards the cheapest property in the area goes up during recession. It doesn't go down. It goes up because people downgrade. 5,000 rental downgrade to 2,000 rental, and you own the cheapest inventory there, you will never have shortage of tenants.
Then
Okay.
for the question, it's about having cash also. So of course it helps, but I think how much would be the question? Like if you're holding 2-3 million in cash today with only one property, then the only cost that will incur later is opportunity cost. Because like if you look at things, the rate of things that's going up, like construction costs is going up, it went up 33 to 38% just on superstructure cost year on year. Land is even worse. Everything is just going up. But the only thing that is not going up is our interest rate. And it's a good thing like, because we are buying properties, but we don't want interest rate to go up. So if in that case, then if by holding cash, it's an exchange for safety versus potential to earn. See which one you want. If you know the game, then it's not so much a risk. So the only thing is that it will be the main question, like why do you need so much cash? And if you are not investing, also please at least put into the housing loan to knock off interest. At least do something with the money. Yeah, I think that will be the point missing just now for what Faizul has mentioned. What to do with the cash.
Thank you for your-
Personally,
Yeah.
yeah. Personally, I am doing a lot of things. A lot of people think that I'm only pro property, which I am like 100% like property unit, right? But it's all my credit. What I do with my cash, it's a whole different thing. Like now Faizul know my watch collection and all. But there's also the Web3 world of it, which a lot of people don't see. Like in a week, when Fed increased their interest rate, right? I made 33% a week. But do I go and announce, yo, no, I just want to save money, I can buy the KLCC property. So it's just shifting, allocating cash and things like that. And you can only do that with property and something else. Because one plays on credit, one plays on cash. If you play cash on margin, that is crazy. That one is asking for trouble, in my opinion, if you really don't know what to do. So that is something that we need to balance. You can play property with credit, then play S&P 500, play crypto, Bitcoin, play NFT, whatever you want. But one allows you to leverage on credit. And it's so slow, 20 years, one bull run. Crypto, 20 seconds, you don't know what you will lose really. So I think that is something that needs to be discussed when you are having that debate between cash or not.
I think, excellent point there, Sean. I think you've got a mindset of whereby in order for me to own property, I need to use cash, which is why this is a discussion. Right?
No, I think when they worry that when the recession hits, then the cash will be helpful because like the rental, the unit will be empty, no one will rent your unit, so at least can have cash to stop the bleeding a little bit.
Yeah.
So I think like personally I practice 3 to 6 months fund in case another COVID lockdown happens. So all the units, right, I got 6 months buffer for every property that I buy. Yeah, so I think the question relates to to what extent the buffer needs to be lah.
I understand. But again, coming back to the question, because it's coming from a mindset whereby if I buy property, I need to utilize cash. You should revisit the mindset. Because there's a lot of us here, when we buy property, we don't use cash. In fact, we actually get cash. But that only works when you are buying at 40, 50, 60% discount. Right? So in a nutshell, what I'm trying to say here is that you are toying with the idea, do I buy more property or do I keep more cash? Right? So that's a normal question, right? Because of this view or belief that in order for me to own more property, I have to utilize more cash. But we are basically using a completely different school of thought. Because of the discount that we can get, we don't utilize cash. Or we use very little cash. Right? So therefore, in most of the scenarios in FACAP as of today, actually when you buy something, you get more cash. So it's not a question. And the cash, like what Sean has described, can be utilized towards other form of cash-heavy investments, ones that you cannot leverage. Yeah. For me personally, watch.
I call it an illness lah. I call it an addiction, not an investment at all.
For me, people put gold, I'll buy watch. I mean, it's a very simplistic way of looking at it, because I think if you buy the right watch, the gains on it can be quite decent. And number two, you can wear it. It's more enjoyable than owning gold.
Next.
All right, that is the last question for
Yeah.
today.
1:30.
Yay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, any last word? Today is very tense.
So first and foremost, thank you everyone for joining us all the way until 1:30. Right. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Zairi. Thank you, Albi. For doing the presentation and presenting. I hope you learned something new today about Jalan Ampang and Jelatek. I think it became very clear why we like it or why we don't like it. Right. For us, very straightforward. At the right price point, we like everything. At the wrong price point, we hate everything. Unfortunately for Jalan Ampang, it has always been wrong price point. Therefore, we hate almost everything about it. But like I said, there's a recommended price point that we think makes sense, and we justify it today. All right. So I hope you learned from it. I hope it was useful for you, and looking forward to see you in our next Battle Royale. And do let us know which area we should do next for our Battle Royale. That, Assalamualaikum. Have a good week ahead, everyone. Bye, guys.
Bye bye,
Bye.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
You got no voice in it.
Press well, Albi.